Right.
So, who are we going to curse today? I mean...
Matt.
Overtaker.
No, Matt.
Well, no David yet, and that would be your 12 for tonight.
Right, okay, that's dumb, but okay. 7 minutes is the... or just over, is the thumb... what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Silly dog. Right, 2 seconds, I'll be right back.
Hey. What are you doing?
I was going to do something, but I've already forgotten what I was going to do. Good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been dispatched. I was just talking my chat.
Hello, PN's chat.
That's Dan with his creepy voice, and now I'm going to make him horny. 787B.
See, you just saying the name isn't enough anymore.
Orange and green.
See, orange I like, green is disgusting colour.
Nah, green's a great colour.
Green's shit. It's the colour that Matt runs, so it's shit.
That's not green. That's not green. That's Grello.
That is shit piss, basically. Right.
That Bentley is a high visibility jacket.
Up. On there. On the chair. Get on the chair. No, get off the... God, I'm gonna kill this dog. I'm not really. That's better. Good girl. Stay there.
Sit. Woof.
Well, she hasn't learned that quite yet.
So we've got no De Silva at all tonight.
No. Depressing, innit?
Hmm. It is a bit. Wolfie. Yay, Fury's replaced me as co-commentator on Tuesdays so I could get a bit of a break and test.
Has he actually?
Yeah. I'm struggling doing it all.
Oh, Matt should have found someone else anyway in the first place. But to be fair, we don't actually need two co-commentators. So, yes, two is nice, but we don't need it.
Nah.
Right, I should probably put my phone on mute.
Yeah, so Fury's gonna do it. Look, like I'm still doing Porsches though, with Matt. I am. That'd be nice actually, because I sort of like relax on a Tuesday now.
Why do you think I kept saying no to stuff?
Because I could like literally play another game and just have the stream on the Switch. And plus with all the fucking stewarding I'm probably going to have to do. But with only 11 cars. So confirmed tonight should be 12 if David turns up.
Yeah. Not live yet. Right for a minute. Thanks. Cheers. Right, Indy, out. Come on.
Yeah, because Dave has accepted. He's on 13 minutes to get in here. God, that's like the most declined I've seen. 7. Yee.
It's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah. But I also think I've got hardware failure again. I must eat analog sticks in my sleep. But I bought another pad in the Amazon Prime Day stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Not really. We got a qualified. Whoops, Mike set that up wrong. Oh, so we're going to have an extra practice session of 11 minutes, but it's qualifying.
I'm sorry, but there's something called open, like
Reset
off,
lobby?
like no, not even reset lobbies. Just sessions where go in your own session.
Yeah.
The servers aren't running. Go in your own server. It's not hard. Jesus.
Who said that?
What?
No, if you look at this session, there's a 11-minute qualifying in between free practice and race. Was that a zesty drink being open?
Mate, I got fish and chips.
Nice.
Well, not fish and chips, more like sausage and chips. But
nice. Chippy chips. Mm.
So, if I suddenly go quiet, it's because I'm eating.
As Dan stuffs his face with fish and chips, where's mine? Oh wait, I've had them for 2 days in a row. I don't think David's going to turn up.
I think he got hard done by the bloody stupid penalty.
He didn't have any footage either. Which is real. Yep, and that's his second one as well, of no footage.
By the way, I've noticed, right? Shitloads of views. Pro a little bit more, a little bit less. Pro, none. No one turns up.
No.
It's just piss poor, to be honest. And it's not us. I know that for sure. But, hey.
It could be worse. Could do with Liam and fall asleep.
Should I do that in this stream?
Sure. Should we just talk about it? What do we like to put on our fish and chips? That could be today's conversation with only 11 people. It's got to be quite spaced out, isn't it, after a
It's
while?
brands. Someone will fuck up.
True. It's not like Mazzano.
No.
I think in the broadcast, though, we might have to mention about the Kunos having server issues.
Nah, fuck that. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Boom, boom. You want to see the worst pit exit line, though?
No.
Have you seen Carl Armies?
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah, it's not that bad.
It is so bloody long, though.
It's long, but it's not really going to affect you, is it?
Generally, coming out the pits, people stay to the left.
Well, they just should know by now. If they cross that white line, they're going to get penalised. Simple as.
Yeah. You would hope, wouldn't you?
Mhm.
You get some Nintendo DS you'll cross it though, wouldn't you? Nintendo dipshit.
Excuse me.
Have the chips. Hope they're nice and greasy.
Mate, they're proper greasy. I've got mushy peas as well.
Nah, you can keep the mushy peas. I don't like peas in general.
See, I don't normally, but mushy peas. Oh.
No, I don't even like mushy peas. Right, I think that's for highlights over.
Alright, are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright. So, we'll transition. Wait, actually. I think there's...
You've got the stand-ins, haven't we?
Yeah. Okay, we'll be live in 3, 2... Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis. Joining me in the commentary box once again is my good friend PN, as we are live here for rounds 9 and 10 of the Simplay Pro GT3 Championship here at Brands Hatch, the British roller coaster. And PN, we had a discussion earlier this week between me and Matt, and we're discussing the Brands Hatch, but we'll get to your opinion on it in a minute. But first things first, how are you, my friend, and are we looking forward to tonight's race?
Good evening, Dan. Guess I'm okay. Can't go into details on broadcast. But, yeah, Brands Hatch. Love watching racing here. After last night, though, I hate racing around here, too. I had a shocker.
Well, I will have to say as well, give me give me some slack here tonight, guys, because I haven't had my dinner yet, and I'm currently eating my fish and chips as we speak. Well, I say fish and chips, a sausage, but you know. Yeah, we are live here for the I think it's what, the halfway stage? Yeah, the halfway stage of the season, and we are here in Kent in the beautiful surroundings of Brands Hatch. Racing the GP layout here tonight, and obviously we're not riding the Indy circuit, but imagine if we was, that would be epic, wouldn't it? in
GT3 cars around the Indy circuit. You're breaking up a bit, then, Dan. Yeah, GT3 cars around.
I have indeed. I don't know why I was breaking up then, but hopefully I shouldn't be now. Apologies for the PlayStation screen there. But we have had a, well, I say we had a slight server issues a second ago where the server was stopping a lot of drivers getting into the session. So as of right now, everything is running smoothly at the minute. So we'll see how things pan out, but obviously a little bit of panic for us earlier on. But either way, we are ready here to race. Obviously, these guys are going to have a qualifying session, but it's going to be not really going to count for anything because it's just an extended session for them. They haven't been testing in these conditions. So either way, we're here for this round, PN, and we're looking currently at Peaceful Explosion in the Honda. Which car out of all of them do you think is going to want to be in? Which would favour this track the most?
I'm never going to say Aston Martin again. Especially after last night. Yeah, I think I'm having hardware issues though, instead of car. Well, the McLaren's looking pretty handy, but so is the Lexus.
They are indeed, as is the Bentley as well. Ripper in the Audi is looking strong once again. He's normally at the top of the table, but I think he's struggling around Brands Hatch. But that Matt in the Bentley, as always, has got pace. Ripper looking good in his Bentley, in his Lexus, and Fury as well. He's looking pretty strong in the Lexus. So, roughly, this produces not the greatest of racing. It's a very difficult track to overtake. I'll put a poll out for who you think is going to win race one, as I also got to check the grid order. We think that the Bentley's going to probably be strong. Mike's had a moment as usual. Shane, as he's currently in PA at the minute and looking to try and have a, like, he's found some pace. But at the minute, the top 9 separated by 1.1 seconds, and around this circuit, that's not that much. But it's all about track position, wouldn't you agree on this one, Ben? If you're in front, it's very, very difficult to overtake. You probably only got 2, maybe 3 good overtaking opportunities, and then again, you do have to be quite far alongside.
You've got to be committed once you go for the move, haven't you, around here?
You do, yeah, indeed.
You do want to be at the front, really, not in the pack. Especially down into Paddock Hill on lap 1. No, you don't want to be there. No. Personal experience.
As I get a bit of lag there from the headset, so hopefully I won't have any more issues. I think everything's running fine. I think everything's okay. Fingers crossed.
The stream's running fine because I've got it beside me on my million-year-old laptop.
Well, if your million-year-old laptop can handle that, then it could definitely. My stream's definitely doing something right. So either way, right. So let's have a quick run of the championship standings as it stands. So into the final halfway of the season, and it is still Ripper leading the way with 44 points ahead of De Silva, who sadly isn't racing here this evening. He is then ahead of Breeze, who currently 5th at the minute on track. He's 3rd in the championship and only got a slight lead over Matimovic. He had a very good round in Zolder, actually inherited 2 race wins after it found out that David actually crossed a white line and got himself a 30-second time penalty for that one. So then it comes Overtaker in P5. Here with Orphanator in P6. P7 is Benno, not here tonight at the minute. but P8 is Peaceful Explosion. No Emplaba to help him out tonight, who's currently 9th in the championship, but Fury is in 11th, and with not a lot of drivers here tonight, he could definitely score some decent points and work his way back up the order. P11 is Nexus, just ahead of Killer Camel. And then you got Gary 131 in 13th, 14th is Euro, 15th is Shane, and again a great opportunity for Shane to score some decent points. There's also T in 16th, he can score some points as well. David is meant to be racing tonight, but at the minute he's still not into the session, with Hitman in 18th and F1 Billow not showing up tonight either. And then back of the pack, regarding the teams championships, is Killer Performance leading the way. And Simplay Racing is currently in P2, Jaeger Motorsport in P3. That's a tight fight between those two, only separated by a couple of points on that one. Then it's the JWB Esports Racing 2 ahead of the number 1 team in P5, and then P6 is Teletubby Motorsport with Button Bashers bringing up the rear, and McLaren way out in front with 441 points ahead of Bentley, with Ferrari in 3rd, Porsche in 4th, Aston Martin in 5th, Honda 6th, 7th is Lexus, 8th is Audi, 9th is BMW, 10th is Mercedes, 11th is Nissan, and 12th is Lamborghini, and the Jaguar has scored some points in 13th place position. And that's that done.
But we still need Veretia. We need Veretia to get a race start.
if only.
Someone just be stupid enough to run Veretia.
Might be me next season.
What, in Am? Down in the Am.
Possibly.
As we say, hello to Noza, Wolfie, Jacob, which is Hitman, Michael J's, Sutty, Fury's granddad, Benny, and Mr. T's in the chat as well.
He is in the chat. He's saying he has no pace, but I feel like pace isn't really the major thing around here.
Survival.
It is survival. I think as well, you just think what's the best thing for tonight's race, because it is Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch is not really the easiest tracks to overtake or do anything. I will run it, says Sutty. No, he won't. He'll back out of that. What he's going to run is the M6 instead. I don't know why. I'm not sure why we've got a 10-minute qualifying session when nobody's going out to practice. So it is going to be a long-winded session of nothing happening. So even though by the sounds of it there was a car leaving,
Breeze.
So if Breeze stays out, then we can stay on board with him. But yeah. So regarding the let's have a look at the order for tonight. I keep scrolling right down to the bottom of my Discord thinking that
it's down there.
Yeah. Even though in the chat here it says to pro ignore qualifying, we've messed up with the connection problems, as treat it as like a practice session for race 1, because there's still a grid order. So Breeze is going out, so these guys can do they can go out on track, they can do a bit of practice. It is just technically an extra practice session. But obviously they will have to get into grid order. The grid order would have been David on pole, but he's right, so will be he will start on pole position with Shane in 2nd. Killer Camel will start 3rd, as Nexus will then start. That's the one. Ben/Nexus will start in P4. Fury will start in P5, with Mike start Peaceful Explosion in P6. Wolfinator will start in P7. Overtaker will start P8. P9 will be Matovic. P10 will be Breeze, and bringing up the rear in 11th will be Ripper. So all these guys are out on track. Nexus is out on track as well, and it's definitely going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. And I think the man to keep an eye on tonight, I think, is Killer Camel in that Lexus for race 1. He's near the front. The Lexus looks good round here, and I think this could be a great opportunity for him.
Don't count out Fury either. He's also in a Lexus, and he's got a setup that was very quick last night in Pro-Am. A very quick little setup. Because he breezed past me when he lapped me and overtook me. I'd win.
Well, we'll see what the Lexus can do tonight. Hopefully Fury can finally score some decent points, as we're on board with Nexus. Like I said, ignore my horrible chewing and sorts.
He he's eating fish and chips, well, sausage and chips.
Yeah.
So drowning in vinegar and salt as well.
Oh, no vinegar. Ew, no, definitely
I
not
love
vinegar. Not many races tonight. No, there's not many racing tonight. So only 11 could confirm racing tonight. Most of them are busy doing other things.
Well,
Go on.
I believe Gary's had a wisdom tooth out, what Matt was saying earlier, so...
You don't need your teeth to race, do you?
Well, you might use a control in your mouth. I've seen it done. Someone's actually controlling the game with the mouth.
Yeah, true.
Impressive as well.
Regarding successful around here, it is actually myself who's the most successful around Brands with 2 wins and a pole position. Then it's Argent with a win and a pole position to his name. Shane is then the next successful around here. He's had a pole position and a win, but obviously not in the pro category. So he's in a big boy class now. Overtaker has had a win here, and Gary131 has been the most successful when it comes to pole positions as well. Well, no Gary131 tonight, which is but it is a British circuit. He sadly misses a British circuit and a circuit that he's more likely would have been strong at, and I think the Porsche would have been well suited around here as well. But either way, it is what it is, and we will go racing as it stands. And right now, Overtaker sets the pace once again. He does a 1:24.3 as I will look to try and find a car to do a lap with. Oh, why not? Let's do a lap with Fury as he heads into turn 1 and goes down into the dip and then heading up to the top of the hairpin towards Druid. He's behind his teammate Shane, and as he tries and gently works his way around there, it's a difficult corner to decide where you want to be in second gear or first gear. He then heads down to the left-hander of turn 3 and a little short sprint as they then head up to turn 4. I believe it's Surtees. This is turn 4.
It's Surtees.
I am going to try my best. I think before was Graham Hill Bend, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Then we go down the back straight to the fast... To Hawthorns, yeah, I was just about to think of Hawthorns. And this is another tricky corner. You've got to try and decide, do you want to go down 1 gear or 2 gears? For me in the Lamborghini, it tends to just be 1 gear. And as you nail that, we need to go into another fast right-hander. Now, I feel like this right-hander is the trickiest one of them all. It's very easy to run wide and touch the grass. And into Sheen's Curve. Am I correct on that one? Sheen Curve?
It used to be actually called Dingle-Dell, but they renamed it to Sheen's. And then Sterling's, and then Clearways Clark. Grab them straight to cross the line.
Yep, to cross the line.
I don't have my book with all the corner names in here. I must put it away.
I usually have it all on my computer, but tonight I don't seem to have it there. As Fury only goes within 3/10 of Overtaker there, so he's got some decent pace there as Shane at the minute P4. But we are coming to the end of qualifying. The track is slowly improving as we say hello to Mummy D, Fury's granddad, Jacob T, Ben, all these lovely guys in the chat, and we got Micro as well saying good luck to the 55 Noser as well. Nice to see you all in the chat. There is currently a poll out at the minute. So at the minute, 55% of you reckon that Matimovic is going to be the sorry, out of the 12 votes, 50% of you reckon that Matimovic will win this one. 33% for Overtaker, and no one's gone for Ripper or Camel. Before we even get into the race, PN, let's get our predictions on who we think is going to win race 1. So who are we going to curse here tonight?
I'm going to curse Ripper.
See, I think Ripper is... I think this might be one of the circuits he's going to struggle at. I don't know why. I just got this feeling that the Audi isn't going to be as strong here as it would anywhere else. So you're thinking Ripper for the win?
It wasn't that strong really at Zolder either, was it?
No, it's definitely had a pace advantage at Spa. I know that for sure. But here he just seems to be looking to try and chase Overtaker. Regarding this first race and looking at the grid order, I'm going to go with Camel for this one, or Camel, as he goes P4. But obviously that's his first proper lap, so I wouldn't really class that as his best lap at the minute. He will get faster as the tyres get into their right window and to their right temperature. But this Lexus is definitely looking good tonight.
It is. It was rapid again. It was rapid in race 2 for Pro-Am last night. until it got hit on turn 1. Well, on Dan Paddock Hill. But we'll gloss over that. That was last night.
So I said
and avoiding the carnage.
So Fury tries to ask me a message on my phone, and I can't, sadly. As Ben in the chat says, the Audi is kind of nowhere here, but I still enjoy this track. He did say he was a very big fan of this track indeed, but he's struggling for pace here tonight as he's currently in the pits. But it is this man who is currently holding the pace at the minute. Overtaker is the fastest man on track. Fury is within 4/10 of him at the minute, but with that line there, he ain't going to go much faster than that. Peaceful goes P3. What did Shane do? He looked like he was on a decent lap, and he will go and stay 6th.
He does. If you want to saw this track in its heyday, in the 80s when they raced F1 cars around here, and they were the turbocharged monsters of the time. Yeah, and Maxwell took his first win around here, actually, in 1985.
He did indeed. That was a fact I mentioned last night that I was reading off of the Brands Hatch website.
I've got nothing up here. I just sort of like went, oh yeah, Mansell's first win was here. And its last F1 race was 86. And then it just stayed at Silverstone ever since. Yeah.
If we were to get rid of Silverstone as the British Grand Prix, where would you like to see it?
Donington.
Donington?
Donington.
Let's be honest, it's the only one that's really able to do it.
It's the only other one that's ever hosted a modern Grand Prix. Yes, Snetterton and Alton have had F1 cars race around there, but it's not been an official FIA sanctioned F1 race. Like,
I say they all man up and go at Thruxton.
No, Rockingham Oval. Mallory Park, there you go. Let's go to Mallory Park, where it was... And that really upset the neighbours that moved into the circuit loop and then complain about the noise.
So as Camel crosses the line, no improvement there, so he's still P5. He'll now return to the pits, as will Wolfenator. He's coming now to the final corner. And that's pretty much, well, I say qualifying, that's practice done. And we will now move on to the next session. Go on.
Imagine F1 cars around Knock Hill.
Keen, I'll drive one.
You could technically do it in Project Cars too.
Yeah, they're fine, not at all, no problem. I did an IndyCar around there once.
I've done an 80s, the Lotus F1 car at Cadwell Park, went airborne up the mountain and went over the barrier. It was like, oops.
We're saying like we've driven these cars before, but let's be honest, no one ever allow us to get into these expensive cars. Got a lot of virtual games.
I wouldn't fit. Oh shit, I'm on the wrong button. I'm tired. I've had a long day. I'm locked on Wolfie. I'm stuck on Wolfie yet. It'll be fine. I'll switch it in a minute.
Well, luckily for you, I'm not locked on someone, so that's handy. Right. So reminder, T will start on pole position. So where is T? He is at the back of the pack.
I hate these cameras in this game. I really hate them.
See, what these guys should have done, which would have been very clever, is get themselves into their qualifying positions in the qualifying session.
That would have saved a lot of aggro.
T would have gone fastest and then slowly worked their way down. So then Shane go a little bit slower, you know, get that. They had enough time to do it, but hey, we'll deal with what we got.
When I used to do league races on GT and we had like fixed qualifying, like where you were designated on the grid, you used to go out, get to first sector, and then you line up behind whoever was meant to be on pole, and then line them up like that, and it puts them in the right order.
We'll see. Maybe we'll figure out one way of doing it the correct way, but we'll find out either way. But a reminder of the grid order: it will be T who starts on pole position, with Shane starting in second. Camel will start in P3 with Nexus in P4. Fury will start P5 with Peaceful Explosion starting P6. P7 will be Wolfenator. P8 will be Overtaker, and P9 will be Matahimovic. P10 will be Breeze, and bringing up the rear in 11th place will be Ripper. Let's see how quickly that these 11 cars can do it, as T is trying to back the pack up as best he can, because obviously they want to do the best job they possibly can, and Shane's gone for some reason, and I don't know why. Shane needs to be behind him, so T needs to work his way through, and I think T is trying to make... I'm not sure what T is doing. He needs to be at the front, so if any of his teammates are here, tell him to do it.
Yeah, Fury, if you're listening, or if Tony's not at work, tell Fury he needs to tell Shane to, you know...
Yeah, Shane needs to be back a position, yeah. But I think Shane was trying to let T through, but T needs to be on pole.
As I'm watching Wolfie, and that's all I can see is Wolfie.
So, until those two sort themselves out, Camel, is he in P3? Yes, he is. Then it should be Nexus, which it is. Then Fury, which I believe is Fury. Then we should have a Peaceful Explosion. There he is, followed by Wolfinator, which is correct. Overtaker, Matahimovic, Breeze, and Ripper. Now T is in the correct position, and now we can get ready to go racing here. Right, final predictions as you guys get your votes in now. Nice to see Emprava in the chat. Go Mike Simplay Racing, as I don't know why everyone suddenly slowed right down.
I don't know. It's just, of course, lovely Constantina, but at least the cars are ghosting. Unlike in the F1 game, if you do that, you lose your front. Well, you get disqualified from the warm-up lap.
Well, T, you need to carry on, mate. You are on pole, so I've never seen so many like races recently where the pole man doesn't want to be on pole.
To be honest, so you want to be on pole, all right at the back to avoid everybody around here. Pole to get away. Or at the back to just drive past all the accident.
Exactly.
As Sutty said, when people go 3 wide into turn 1.
It works, doesn't it?
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Right, so now these guys should be getting into double file, and they're not. So...
Nah.
That's a good start as well. So, we're about to get racing here for round 9 of the season. It's T on pole position with Shane right behind him. And he needs to back the pack up ever so slightly as they all start to get in line. Better late than never, I guess. But all the guys are in position. We are about to get underway here for round 9 of the championship. It's T versus Shane. Audi versus Lexus into turn 1. Who is going to get the first win of the night? As the race is initialized, and we are... green here at Brands, and it looks like Fury's had a decent jump there, but T will lead into turn 1 with Camel on the inside, but Shane's having to go right round the outside, and so far so good as we negate turn 1. Everyone's through, and looks like Wolfinator's not had the best start, and Overtaker is on the move. Shane, no, is looking right onto the back of T as Fury is already on the move. He's alongside Camel, but can't seem to find a way through at the minute, while Wolfinator is surrounded by cars as Matimovic is slowly trying to work his way through the order. So far, so good for the start of this race, PN.
It is. It's just a pack of Lexi chasing Mr. T right now.
It is indeed, as Nexus has now got the run on Fury after Fury got ahead of Nexus. He's now dropped back behind him, back into 5th place as Camel now is on the move on Shane, and Shane here just runs a little bit wide, and that's going to allow Camel to look down the inside for the next right-hander, and boom, thank you for the carrots as he goes through.
Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
No, I don't want to say Mama. No, I'm just saying thank you for the carrots. But he's not done yet. Shane's still fighting it, but he's touched the grass as T runs wide. Fury runs wide as all the Audis just seems to be struggling as they slide through that sector. But T pulling away. Shane dropped right to the back now, and bouncing all over the grass has put him to the back of the pack as Camel looks to try and hunt down T. Meanwhile, Fury's under some immense pressure. He's being pushed and shoved about by Peaceful, Overtaker, and Matt are all there. This could end up in tears in a minute.
I'm waiting for. I want to close my eyes, but I don't want to close my eyes and watch, see what happens as he dip down into Paddock Hill.
Well, it did look like Matt and Overtaker did make slight contact as they went up to the main straight, and Matt has worked his way through the order. He's now up into 6th place position. and he's on the back of Fury. Meanwhile, Peaceful's had a fairly decent start. He's managed to clear most of the traffic, but Shane's the real loser out of all this one. Ripper is just slowly trying to make his way through the order. He's only done Shane so far, as Breeze has gone round because of Wolfinator. They've made contact, and around they go. Wolfinator drops to the back of the pack with Breeze in last place position. That helps Ripper out, make a few more places. That's 2 more cars for him, but his closest championship rival isn't even here tonight.
Which is unfortunate, not having the silver here.
It is very unfortunate. Meanwhile, Peaceful Explosion is under some immense pressure from Fury right now.
Yep, as Fury hunts, as the camera tries to pick up the car. Peaceful sideways through Sheen.
The Honda very much struggles around here. I don't think it suits very fast corners. It's got very good tractions, but most of this is high speed to medium speed corners. And now Fury has made the move. Matt is now on the inside of Peaceful Explosion, and I think Peaceful isn't going to fight that one too hard, as Overtaker now joins the scene. He's right on the rear wing of Matt Himovic, and he's looking left, looking right, but he can't go left because there's Peaceful. They touch ever so slightly. That did look like lag.
That looked like a lag bump to me.
It did to me as well, as now Matt works his way up. Peaceful is dropped behind, and Ripper is right behind him. Meanwhile, while all that's going on, Camel's leading this race ahead of T. So T must have had a moment or a mistake, because he is now dropped to P2, and Nexus is now on the scene.
The Audis just look like them. Oh, T's gone, tried to go on the Indy circuit a little bit then, or to the medical centre, because the medical centre's about there. Very good medical centre as well.
He did say he was struggling, and he's now lost out to Nexus, and Nexus now up in front. But Killer Camel, is he going to get his first race win as he now leads this race? The pit window will be opening shortly. Right now, the 2 Audis are ahead of then the next Lexus of Fury. So he's got the Bentley and McLaren of Matimovic and Overtaker breathing down his neck.
But closing very quickly onto Mr. T.
They are indeed.
Camel has about a 2-second lead. Surprisingly, that was quite a clean start.
Yeah, it's been relatively good. Less cars, less chances of incidences happening. But Fury is now got a decent run out of the final corner. He's giving T a flash, and he's looking to try and make the move down the inside of turn 1. Probably not going to get it done. You want to set him up as you go into turn 1 to then try and get the inside of Druids as you head up the hill. And Fury, is he going to think about it? No, he thinks better of it and waits. As Ripper, meanwhile, is right on the back of Peaceful and can't seem to find a way through. As Breeze, right now, back of the pack, is really struggling to get himself back in this race.
Fury going to go around the outside into Graham Hill Bend? No, because Matt's just found a gap and gone for it. And it's nearly 3 wide into Sterling. Not Sterling's, Surtees, as Matt is past Mr. T and up to P3. Fury follows him through.
And Ripper is just now alongside Peaceful as Matt works his way through, barging his way through the pack. As now Overtaker, is he going to be brave enough to go around the outside of T? He thought about it, but he can't quite get the job done. Meanwhile, Ripper was thinking about it, but he gets the undercut and managed to get underneath the Honda, and up in position he goes. Meanwhile, Overtaker, you just see him there, just get past the...
Oh, Nexus is wide out of machines.
Nexus is wide. That's going to back the rest of the pack up. And Matt now right on the back of the Audi is his teammate. Gary131 says, come on, Matt. And Nexus, oh, he has a twitch again. So something not right on the rear of that car. Fury's had a stellar exit there. And now he's right on the back of Matt once again. But Matt up in the P2, getting his elbows out. I'm not sure why he's flashing. Might have to give him a penalty for excessive flashing. Because you know what Matt's like with his flashing.
Could just catch a button on the steering wheel.
Nah.
My case, I'm pushing so hard down on the sticks. Because that's where I've assigned big indicators.
Well, at the minute, Killer Camel, while all this has been going on, he's made a 5-second gap over Matt Himovic. But the problem with Matt is he's got a little puppy of Fury biting at his ankles, looking to try and find a way through in that Lexus. Now, is pit stops really going to benefit some of these drivers right now? As Ripper now is looking to try and get on the back of T. And Peaceful and Wolfinator having their own little scrap. Shane in P10 and Breeze bringing up the rear. But Fury now has to be patient, needs to take his time and figure out the right time to try and pass Matt. As Overtaker, meanwhile, behind is trying to force Nexus wide. Nexus goes onto the grass. And he loses a little bit of momentum, loses speed. Overtaker's to the inside. Oh,
No,
they nearly make
that's
contact.
sideways.
Overtaker, has he gone into the wall? No, he's managed to catch it. Overtaker probably needs to invest in some boxes that are colour shade brown because he nearly ended up in the wall then.
He did, and that's a hell of a place to lose it as well.
It is indeed. Camel crosses the line and he is ahead of Matt by 4.2, so he's got a decent pace at the minute over the Bentley. So the Lexus currently holding his own at the minute against Matt, while Fury now, I know we can see him right there and he's trying to make as much time as he can, but he needs to just keep it smooth, keep it consistent and slowly work your way onto the back of Matt.
Gary in chat, gutted I'm not well enough to make it to a decent track.
The man who's had the most successful pole positions around here, and he's not able to even qualify. Good old Gary 131.
Look, as Camel's holding the seconds around holding the lead to around 5 seconds. I'll get it right eventually. One day I might get this commentary mark down.
You'll get the hang of it. It only takes time, as Overtaker is still harassing the back of deck. Nexus has gone wide. That's the invitation that Overtaker needed. Through he goes. Now he can hunt after Fury and Matahimovic, who he's after. To be fair though, PN, Ben looked like he was going to go and have another go at Overtaker, but I think it's better of it. He's now gone wide. And he's lost out big time there to Overtaker. Meanwhile, Camel is actually extending the gap to Matt. It was 4.7. It's now 5 seconds. So Camel, on his own, in clear air, he's having a whale of a time in that Lexus. He crosses the line. What's the gap now? As Fury is still just able to stick to the back of Matt. It's just stayed at 4.9. So Camel is matching what Matt is doing behind him. So that's good pace from him. Ripper is now onto the back of the other Audi of Nexus.
Grease is all over the back of Wolfie coming to the line.
The two that came together earlier on in the race as they go into turn 1, and Wolfinator just seems to be struggling here as Breeze is on the back of the pack, which we're shocked to see those guys at the back in the McLarens, because the McLaren look very good round here, and the only one looking very strong in it is Overtaker at this stage. So we'll see what Overtaker can do. Now he's got some clear air, but Camel though is really impressing me at the minute, currently leading the way and has got all the guys covered as it stands.
Be interested to see how it plays out once people enter the pits. If drivers got damaged, I don't think Camel has. I don't think Matt has, to be honest.
I think people have got a couple of scrapes or bumps or a little bit of, like a couple of seconds here and there damage. Nothing horrendous, but at the minute, T is the man who's been struggling at the minute. He's losing places left, right, stay aside on pole position. He's down to 8th, and now Shane is behind him in the other Lexus, and Shane looking very good in that Lexus. Now he's got a bit of time to himself, keep his composure. Pit window is open as the leaders have already gone past. Who's going to opt to pit early? Ripper stays out, as does Nexus. Peaceful Explosion opts to pit, and he gets very close to that white line, as does Shane. He's into the pits. Oh, Breeze has dropped it.
Breeze has dropped it.
Now,
I don't think that'd be a penalty, would you? Because
technically, he crossed the white line and he intended to come into the pits, so I'll leave that one to the stewards, because
I think because he binned it, that'd be a bit harsh.
Meanwhile, Camel leading the race. He's actually lost some time this lap. He's a second down on what Matt did previously. So maybe Matt starting to get himself into a groove here. We'll see. But at the minute, Killer Camel still got that buffer at the minute. He's still okay. He just needs to keep it cool, keep it calm, and he probably knows that being here at Brands is very difficult to overtake, and you really do have to have some significant pace to get past the car. Meanwhile, Wolfinator is passing T, because T's got very wide. Into the grass and gravel he goes, and out comes Peaceful Explosion. Let's see if he crosses the white line. Oh, one day I'd love for him to cross that white line so we can get that
That'd be ironic, wouldn't it?
Imagine,
No,
imagine.
The most ironic one would be me, and I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Overtaker, oh, he just comes in and just avoids the white line, so Overtaker is into the pits. Meanwhile, Shane is on his way out, as is Breeze, and they've all cleared, no problem. Nexus is in. Through comes Wolfinator, he stays out, as does T, and that's everybody who is coming in for a pits. Now, Fury has had a problem here, because he's now got his teammate and Breeze in front of him, while Matt has pulled away. Matt at the minute has pulled 2.7 on Fury, while Camel is actually starting to match again. He has indeed. Peaceful Explosion has played that quite well, because he's managed to get into the GP loop, and there's no one he has to get out of the way of. So it's good stuff for him there.
Yep. It just seems like an Eon. Overtaker's stop is complete as he heads towards the exit of pit lane.
And we'll see if he crosses that white line. It's very simple, easy exit here, so no problems there. As Nexus will be dropped now, and he will be. There he goes.
You would have thought after 9 races they would get don't touch them lines, wouldn't you?
Well, it depends really. It's very easy to understeer the car and run it wide and touch that white line, so it's very easily done. As Matt comes into the pits.
Matt's in.
Is that technically crossing a white line?
It's not the entry part, is it? It's just Brands Hatch just stupidly tight chicane into pit lane. For those who have hit it, we will go to Jerry 131 last season and Keegs on Tuesday in the Jag. Matt's up
to pit here. Now, the man I think he's covering is Overtaker, because Overtaker came into the pits. Now Overtaker has clear air. He has got some decent pace in that McLaren. So as Peaceful Stepdad says in the chat, good evening everybody, good luck tonight. Gary Arthur will get well soon. But Killer Camel has stayed out. Fury's got a little bit of buffer with cars behind him. Has Matt pitted to cover Overtaker? Because Overtaker is now in the final corner.
He's now in the clearways, and
Matt's gone green, and he'll be released now. There is Overtaker.
Yeah, I think that was to mainly cover Overtaker. That gap looks smaller than it was before for pit stop, so a lot smaller. There's no Lexus in the way.
There is no Lexus, so if anything, Fury now has allowed Overtaker to jump him. If Fury chooses to pit now, I think it's one too little too late. He has to go longer now. But either way, Camel, did he cross the white line? That's the question. Fury is in. Will Ripper, he will come in as well. And it's just T left to pit. He'll end up back at the top of the session. But I'm more likely he'll pit this lap as he's got very wide and into the gravel. He is really struggling here tonight. So, at the minute, your net leader of Camel is in the pits. His teammates come in as well of Ripper, and they're both leading the constructors.
That's a cut by Mr. T. Definitely. That was a definite cut. He cut across the green painted bit, and he's been done for pit entry before.
I'm just watching the Bentley and the McLaren of Matt and Overtaker, and Overtaker just seems so much more so much more planted in the faster corners. Thanks for people who kept tapping me to get by. So Fury's not too happy about that one. Camel is coming out the pits, and Matt's jumped him.
Wow.
Overtaker has as well. Fury has lost out. Ripper's already gone. So it is now Matt from Overtaker from Camel. So
yeah. What a outlap by Matt, really.
Was it an outlap, or did Killer Camel have damage that he had to repair?
Hard to say.
There's no way that he would have gained, Matt would have gained that much time. What was that? No. So Killer Camel was what? 3.8 ahead of Matt when he came into the pits, and Matt's now 3.6. Sorry, no, I'm reading that as the delta between Overtaker and Camel. So Matt's near enough 5 seconds ahead. So either Killer Camel had a moment coming into the pits, or he's sustained damage somewhere. Maybe racing T earlier on. But either way, Killer Camel is lost out to the two in front, and that's probably not a good thing.
No, it's not at all, is it?
Not at all indeed. Now, Overtaker is bringing the gap down to Matt. It is now 1.6. It was 2.7 when they pitted. What can Overtaker do from here?
Yeah. Phil, these two together again. Well, where have we seen this before?
Well, at the minute, they are the class of the field, Killer Camel and Ripper. Camel obviously had the lead of the race, and now he's dropped behind them two. So if anything happens to the leaders, he is now the net first place man. But we know what Matt and Overtaker are like when these two come together.
There may be contact, and then lots of stupid inquiries. So, let's see if Camel can get back on them with his teammate behind him in the Audi. Yeah, but them two are killer. That's killer performance into Camel.
Yeah. So right now, these two are scoring very, very well, being in third and fourth. So Camel's been the one who's been struggling with points this season, but they're in a very good position right now. Will Camel get out the way for Ripper, or will Ripper allow him to score some decent points?
Overtaker's right on Matt.
It's right on Matt. I did see someone in my personal stream, so if they were watching in my personal stream, get over to Simplay Motorsport. That's where the action is. That's where it's happening. As I'll end the poll there, as people still think Matt is going to win this one, and it's also between Overtaker. So right now, Overtaker versus Matt once again. We had this one too many times, and they like to lock horns as well. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, Overtaker's got so much pace into turn one.
That was a lovely line by Overtaker. Oh, is he going to try it around the outside into Druids? He's on the marbles. You can see him a little bit of build-up.
In the wet, yeah, that would have been fine, but in the dry, no chance. As we see now, Overtaker trying to get the run on Matt. Now, Overtaker needs to be clever here. He needs to start to not show his strengths to Matt. If he does it one too many times, Matt will know exactly how to defend against him, won't he? So hear me.
Be patient. You got to be patient and just.
There we go. That should have gone now. Apologies for that. Apologies. I know why that was.
Yeah. Overtaker's now got to be really patient to get past Matt, and just wait for either Matt make a mistake or the gap is there. Because again, narrow circuit, very hard to overtake. As they head towards Clearways and Clark.
Hopefully it should have been changed now. Hopefully you shouldn't be able to hear it twice. Hopefully. Oh, I'm panicking now.
Hang on. I'll just mute mine quickly and then bring it up, see if I can hear it.
It should be cleared now, hopefully, because I know what was wrong. So I need to find a better way of running this system. But either way, you should be able to hear us nice and clearly now. Overtaker right now, like we've been saying, he doesn't want to show his hand straight away to Matt, even though he's caught right onto the back of the Bentley. He doesn't want to show where his strengths are. All good?
I think so. I believe
it is. Yeah, I know what I did. The thing is, the Streamlabs is running my desktop noises. So if I open up another stream, it will play that one as well. So yeah, it tried running two things at once. So I have muted the other stream. It should all be good now, and we should only just be hearing this stream. I hope.
Hopefully.
I hope. So if the guys in the chat can help happily tell me if they can hear us, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
But well, so I'm gonna have to tell PN to do it instead.
I can't do it. I've got no way to stream it like that. And plus everyone will get ads if they have my stream. Being affiliated on Twitch.
I'm gonna have to double check now. I'm like second guessing myself, so
Oh, yeah. Nexus was sideways, come through Pilgrims, and then into Sheen. The fact that Audi does not look stable at all.
Oh, it's definitely sorted now. So yeah, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Right, rookie mistake there. I need to stop opening things while I'm busy commentating. So apologies, guys, for the double comms there. So as we've only got 8.5 minutes left to go. Yeah, I thought as much. Thank you, Micro. as we've only got 8 minutes left, like 8.5 minutes left, the running order at the minute is Masimovic is leading the way, but he's under some immense pressure from Overtaker in second. Third is Killer Camel, and holding his own at the minute against his teammate Ripper, who's in P4, who wants to just score some decent points while De Silva is not here. His then closest rival is Breeze, and he is down in 9th place position. Then it's Matt, and Matt's still a decent amount of points behind. Fury having a solid round in P5 with Peaceful Explosion in P6. Nexus currently in P7, just staying ahead of Wolfenator in P8. P9 is Breeze, and then P10 is Shane. And bringing up the rear is T, who just seems to be struggling with his Audi today. Everyone else is pretty spread out, except for the top two, which Overtaker gets close again to the back of Matahimovic. It seems like Overtaker is very strong in the middle and final sector, while Matt is able to extend the gap in the first sector.
Yeah. As we dip into a paddock hill again. Down the descent. Up, well, it was, I think it was Halewoods into Druids. Still trying to remember everything. See, if it was Snetterton, I'd be fine.
Sadly, Snet's not on the calendar. Maybe next season, I believe it might possibly
It is in the Porsches.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
there you go.
Tune in on Sunday to see Dan Davison race in the Carreras.
Or Overtaker's had a great run through the left-hander there, and he's right on the back wing of Matt. Matt just went a little bit wide, and that just gave Overtaker a little sniff of an opportunity. But then Matt's managed to use the Bentley grunt to pull away.
And in fact, it's the biggest car on the grid. That kind of helps as well.
It is indeed, as Overtaker used to say, you can't actually see around the thing. Other cars, you can see at least the corners and stuff like that, but the Bentley is so big and wide, the boat
got a yellow flag.
Like
oh, I believe Mr. T's returned to the pits. As long as he gets back out, and if not, it will be down as a retirement.
Yeah, he needs to at least cross the line to finish the race, so he doesn't get a qualifying ban for next week, which is Kyalami, I believe, is the next round of the season. And,
it is.
And he's left. He's
left. T, that is a retirement, so...
Unless he gets back into the session and carries on, but at the minute, he's left the session. So, if he doesn't come back in, he'll be carrying a qualifying ban for Kyalami next time out.
He will indeed, as I am just making a note.
So Ripper has now slowly started to work his way onto Camel, but I don't think much is going to change here. I think these two are just going to follow one another home. And really everywhere else is stabilised. The only one that's really possibly on the move is Wolfenator onto the back of Nexus. But the real closest fight at the minute is still this fight between Matt and Overtaker. And Overtaker managed to get onto the back of Matt, but has not been able to do anything with it since.
Oh, Overtaker was wide then. You don't want to do that around here.
But he looked like he took more pace. He like even the curbs, like it looked like he'd take it wide. But there's like a netting part of the track. It's Overtaker's very committed through Sheen Curve there. But
do you know why they have that netting there on MSV circuits?
Overtaker's gone.
Overtaker's lost it.
He's hit the wall, and he's hit it hard.
Oh, that's unfortunate. The rear just went.
It did indeed. Now, is he gonna... Oh, he's got major damage on the pad as well. He's gonna be struggling. Camel and Ripper are gonna be rubbing their hands together thinking, yes, Overtaker's cracked. And now Matt is gonna take maximum points once again with the beneficial of the reverse grid. We'll see how he goes in the next part of the session. But Killer Camel now has an opportunity to catch Overtaker, as does Ripper. Meanwhile, Fury is just nowhere near these guys at the minute. He's run a little bit wide, pushing a bit too hard. But Overtaker, costly mistake, probably Dirty Air got a little bit too close to the back of the Bentley, and in the wall it goes.
Will Camel switch positions with Ripper so Ripper get more points in the team's for the drivers' championship? With De Silva not here.
Matt winning as well. Matt, if Matt stays where he is and doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, and with Overtaker now in a damaged car and going to be hemorrhaging time.
But Overtaker, I think, was on the gravel there. But this is really his first test to see how bad the car is. It looks like it's just about able to make it to the end, so I think he'll be okay. but he isn't going to be in his fastest state as Camel is there. The two killer performance cars running together, as menacing as they look in the black and orange. They are coming after Overtaker.
Orange? I think it's red.
Well, the Camel one I think is orange in it. It looks more orangey than red.
Yeah, that's red. That's a matte red.
Let's
I don't like matte paint.
It's not quite. Either way, they're very similar. They both look menacing, and they're coming after Overtaker. Simple as.
But, yeah, I think Overtaker. Oh, that's unlucky, really, for Overtaker.
I think, yeah, it was just getting to a point. He was pushing as hard as he could to try and gain as much time as he possibly can on Matt and try and get the run. He just made one little mistake, and around he went. Now, Camel has got time in hand to catch Overtaker. It's 2.4 now, but he's got to do it soon because he'll run out of time. And again, Brands Hatch, very difficult to overtake. What does he do? He could see now the McLaren and Ripper right behind him. Will he let Ripper have a go first and try and sneak up the inside? Or maybe he'll have a go first and then see what happens. But they have not got long. Matt, they got roughly 2 laps, I reckon.
About 2 laps, yeah, because it's what? Let's just say they're doing about a lap with 1 minute 27 for the pros in race trim.
They're probably quicker than that.
Maybe
25s.
a bit quicker than it. Hang on.
They'll be in the 25s, I reckon. Matt said he's managed to dip in the 24s.
24.9 for Matt. So yeah, two laps to go. I've just went into drive just so I could see what the lap times are doing. Overtaker's still doing 26s. That's impressive for a car that's Ben.
But he was probably
25s.
doing mid-24s is what he was probably doing. So the pace he had, he was definitely faster than Matt. If Matt's in the high 24s, Overtaker was probably in the mid-24s. So
Fury's down into the 27s.
yeah, so the Lexus has either dyed its tyres or the Fury's just pushed it a little bit too hard. Maybe contact wall, we don't know what's happened. But either way, Camel is now 1.5. It's taken him a while though to catch Overtaker, and if anything, Ripper is now onto the scene more than Camel is onto Overtaker. So Overtaker at this rate, the way he's going at the minute, he might just hang in there for P2. But if Ripper gets let go, I reckon he can catch him pretty quickly. But
yeah,
it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass, as the famous words from Murray Walker.
Oh, the greatest commentator ever.
Well, not even me. Not even me. I'm upset.
But it's Murray Walker.
As Matt now exits the final corner to start his final lap here, he will go onto the final lap. Camel now, is he within striking distance? No, if anything, he's lost time to Overtaker, I would say. 1.3, so Overtaker towards the line. What does he do? Oh, it's 9 tenths. He's within 9 tenths, but he's running out of time. Overtaker seems to be struggling, I think, with left-handers. So luckily, most of this track is primarily right-handers, so he's okay. But he's definitely struggling.
He is, and I wonder if there is any team orders and killer performance for Camel just to release Ripper to get maximize his points.
We're only halfway through the season, and Killer Camel needs to get himself back up the championship order anyway. So these are good points for him. Now Overtaker's having to go defensive.
Yeah, he is. Matt is now heading towards Pilgrims and Sheen, so
Overtaker's really slow here. Killer Camel's right there. We'll get to Matt in a second because this fight's more important. Overtaker's gone wide, and there goes Camel. He goes through. Can now Ripper pounce as well as Matt comes towards the final corner, as Ripper is right on the back end of Overtaker. We sadly have to move away because Matt exits the final corner. He will win round 9 of the championship. Congratulations to Matt on that one, but we have to look back to the scrap behind him. Ripper is going to try and do the undercut as Overtaker is probably going to understeer wide. I think he's going to hang in there, but Camel probably his season best so far. He comes home for 9th. Ripper, meanwhile, onto the line. Overtaker just hang in there. Just as Fury is going to come home for P5. He'll be happy with that. Good points for him as Peaceful Explosion is coming into the final corner.
P6 for Peaceful. That's not a bad result for Peaceful.
Yeah, decent points for him. So he'll come across the line fairly Not much going on for him, as Wolfinator did manage to get Nexus earlier on, but we sadly missed it because Matt and Overtaker was really scrapping hard, as Nexus nearly losing out to Breeze at the end there, finishing 8th and 9th, and Shane coming home in 10th place. But either way, all these boys will be scoring decent points. But Matt Imovic wins the race, and T obviously never returned, so he will now take a qualifying ban into the next round of the championship, which will be at Kyalami.
And the yellow curb of doom that launches your car into the wall.
I'm so gutted I can't race Kyalami, but either way, it is what it is. Right, so as these guys have a short break and get themselves recovered, ready for race 2, we'll be back in a few moments' time. So while you can, grab a drink, grab some food, have a little pee break, whatever you need to do, and meet us back here in a few moments' time for a race 2. But Matinovic wins race 1. Killer Camel in second place, his best result yet, and Overtaker just hanging in there for P3. So we will see you in a few moments' time.
Yep. See you in a bit, boys.
We should be clear, I think.
It should be.
Yeah, it should be, but be cautious. Now I can finish eating.
Yeah, that'd be cold now. Oh, yeah, one thing you need now is a microwave in your room. Just check we can't hear us over the background music.
No, they can't.
Yeah, and Smithy was in my stream. Smithy, you know where you're meant to be. Come on.
Come on. I need to ask you boys a question.
I mean, it was pretty easy for you. Half the grid isn't even here, so...
I don't take it away from me, Daniel. Did you get my move on Fury and T on the string?
Nope.
Bastard.
No, he did. You just barged right past him.
I mean, I didn't. I got straight to the inside and he turned in on me.
Nah. That's pure touring car move. That was just barge your way past.
We're at Brands, mate. When in Rome, as they say. When in Rome.
Elbows out.
What happened to Overtaker? Because in my mirror, he just lost.
I think he lost the rear on the curb into Sterling.
On the grass, yeah. What happened with T?
Well, he crashed again, and then he retired. He just left the second. He also cut Pit Henry by a lot.
Mate, tonight's dull.
Literally, the closest battle was you and Overtaker until Overtaker binned it.
It's just dull.
Well,
where is everyone?
Gary, Wisdom, Tooth Plover, I think he's away. Hitman, Deno, I think are at work. Euro, Kabil, don't know where they are. De Silva was tentative all week. David hasn't fucking turned up, so that's one strike against him for confirming they're not turning up.
He probably saw, oh, we're having server issues, just not bother.
No, everybody from De Silva was tentative all week, then declined today, and Gary was accepted all week and then declined about 4 PM. Yeah,
obviously, having a wisdom tooth though, you're probably a bit high on the anaesthetic as well.
If I were him, I'd have been taking some painkillers, seeing there's only 10 drivers in and get fucking in for race 2 just to score.
Yeah, just to get some points.
You know, 11th place points at the end of the day. Not only for the team, we ain't going to win Team Championship, we're 92 points behind Killer Performance, but for him, you know, all of a sudden Shane's a point behind him, and then the four after that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 after that aren't fucking here tonight, so chance to pull away.
Yeah, it's literally what, only 2 full teams tonight? Killer Performance and Teletubby? Because
yeah,
now
there was the JWB Esports with Wolf and T, but
T's rage quit by the look of things. It does. Oh, I've had a long day. I've already slipped up because I was stuck on the on drive. Ooh. Oh, guess what I picked up, Matt, from a charity shop on PS1? Toka Race Driver.
Nice.
Not Toka Race Driver, Toka Touring Car.
Nice.
Black label, not the platinum label.
Nice.
Yep.
It's,
And
on your PS3, weren't you?
yeah, or on PS1.
Oh yeah, yeah, all that.
And on DVD, Le Mans 24 Hours 2019.
Nice.
Yeah, I like charity shops.
14 behind Dan until Sunday night.
When he probably put away in the Porsche.
And then it'll be 16 behind Dan again.
I did try and get a plug-in for the Porsche Carrera Cup.
So, it might be alright, so I could get Dan down to 13 if I win race 2, but then Dan will get me back up to 15 Sunday. So I'm always going to stay... If I win every Thursday and Dan wins every Porsche Cup, I'm always going to be 15 behind him.
Whoa, that's a line, Nexus.
I ain't going to qualify to be able to win, mate. In this one, let's not... I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I got lucky in that race. I pulled off a good move on Fiori and T, and I got lucky with rest.
Yeah, and the fact that barely anyone's here. This is a shit showing for Pro, man.
It's terrible, mate. It really is bad.
This is as bad as Mazzano last season.
Like I said to PN, you might as well just watch AM, because there's more people watching AM than anything else.
There was like 48 people watching AM the other night.
Yeah. And it dipped down for Pro-Am. I forgot to like the stream. Oops. There we go. Liked it now. For the algorithm. It is a really bad showing.
Yeah, it is. It's not great, is it? Right, I'm going to put
Porsche
Porsche
Super Cup is going to be rubbish as well.
I don't think it will.
Well,
We'll do the one race and then no one else will turn up after that because they will realise how mental it is.
What bonus is we've got 2 drivers already in reserve for it. Jay and Bemba from AM. Right, back in a sec.
yep. I've done a livery on a cup car. Doesn't mean I can drive it.
How long is the bloody qualifying session?
15 minutes.
10, I can't be arsed.
See, glad we could nick some painkillers and just sort of like, even if it's just running around the back just to score points.
Or he just does the first lap, put it in the pits, then go out and drive another lap. You know, he's turned up.
I'm back. Oh. Right, I'm going to jump back into the party.
Yep.
So I'll catch you boys in a bit.
Later.
Yeah. Trying to hook up from Nelson round, from the S's all the way round to Murray's at Snet with no TC. My tyres are gone. Bono! After 7 laps. I had to use the turn right to go left tactic, heavy left-hander, and enjoyed it a lot actually. So it looked like Nexus needs to paint his Audi as a rally car from now on. Oh, I'll say that when we go back live. Overtake us in the 23s now, but the track is now optimal. Have you seen the Lambo hypercar?
No, hang on a sec. So, sorry, what I mean is by roll is when you get into the corner, brake is normal, but when you're in mid-corner, let the car hit the throttle, don't hit the brake. Let the car naturally turn until you grip, and then you can start putting power down. That's how you have to be with a engine car. You have to, it will use understeer instead of oversteer, so it won't slide, it'll just want to go straight. So just let the car roll without having to put any throttle down. Start grip, then you can start putting power down.
Your headset was on me then. Hang on, let me just unplug this one and plug it back in.
I hope we're not lagging on the stream.
Oh.
Right, they taste like shit. I don't want them anymore.
What, chips?
Yep.
They're cold, aren't they?
Yep.
Only one person I know who eat cold chips. My niece.
Right, we'll go green. We'll start talking 10 minutes.
Yeah, because if not...
It's just a lot of stuff talking about with Ben.
Right, I'm gonna go for whizzing. Oh. Ah, shit! Back in a minute, down.
Alright.
And I'm back.
Sweet, so we're going to go live in a sec.
10-4.
Yeah, I think I found a better way of doing this going back live thing now, so where it's a little bit more slick.
Nice. Tidy.
Nice.
Nice. I think we need to do Alan Partridge impressions for the Lexus drivers. I drive a Lexus.
No, you gotta do the Jeremy Clarkson one. Drive a Jag.
Jag. No, that was Keys.
Jag.
That was only Keys, though. So, might be me next season in Ambo, because I've got no choice.
Oh, you in the Jag, me in the Retia, let's go.
Yeah. You and Smithy in the Retia.
He's not. I won't make him drive the Retia.
And they said it's only one race, not two, so I could only fuck up once. Every Lexus needs a Radio Norwich livery. Well, this traffic's not a problem.
Yeah, if any of them moan about traffic, then
it's only 10 of you out there. It's like a Grand Prix shootout session.
Okay, right, we're going back live in a second. 3, 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. We're about to get underway for the second race this evening at Brands Hatch, as Matt took the first win tonight in race 1 and now going into race 2. As we see Matt currently on track, they're currently doing a qualifying session right now. They've had 15 minutes so far, and the man setting the pace at the minute is Overtaker, currently on pole. The first man to get himself into the 23s at the minute, and securely in the 23s as well. He's got 6/10 over Ripper at the minute, as he's now in the final sector. But PN, Matt, in that first race, did a very good job of holding back Overtaker, keeping him behind. We currently got a poll out for a race winner for race 2, so get your votes in on that. But let's talk about Matt's performance. He was very well controlled second half. Obviously had to work his way through the pack. Camel did all the work in before, putting himself in a very good position, but sadly lost it. Was Overtaker goes even faster, 23.3. That's a decent lap time around here. So Matt did a fantastic job of keeping this man behind him.
He did indeed, and well, look at Overtaker's pace now. He is absolutely flying in that McLaren. And on a pad, let's remind everyone, he's a pad user.
He is indeed, as Ripper comes to the line and no improvement, so he's struggling to find the pace, as Camel currently is P3, so him and his teammate Ripper are up there with them. Fury only P4, Breeze currently P5 at the minute. So guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to win this one, and more importantly, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a single action here at Simplay Motorsport, because we have got some fantastic things coming your way. And obviously, PN's mentioned it briefly before already, but we do have the debut of the British Super Cup Championship. The Porsche Super Cups will be hitting the track this Sunday. Myself, I'll be back driving behind a Porsche where I belong. I miss my my Porsches, even though the Porsche Cup car is a handful. But make sure you tune in for that one. Brands Hatch is its debut for the Porsche Super Cup, and all sorts of various drivers. So you have some of the AM and Pro-Am, and even some of the Pro Boys racing one another. Fury's making a debut in it, and I believe Lucas Roth as well, among other drivers as well. So make sure you tune in for that one. And also, while you're at it, have a look in the description below and go and give our sponsors a follow. Designed Manchester, as they are producers of vinyl graphics, lasered engraved gifts and mugs and printed clothing, so much more, and including some of our Simplay merch. So head over there, there's a link below, and have a look at Audio Sport, manufacturers of Volkswagen T4 audio solutions and styling products as well, among T5s and all sorts of stuff like that for your Volkswagen vans. Give them a look on their websites, have a look at their Facebook pages, give them all a like and subscribe, because if it wasn't for those guys, these things wouldn't happen, and obviously we would not have a championship. There's most of the pundit stuff done. The other thing I forgot to mention, if you do want to be a part of Simplay Motorsport, then head over to the Discord, and if you can't find the Discord, head over to SimGrid. We are live on SimGrid, and get yourself signed up to any of the events that are available here at Simplay Motorsport. And even if you want to even join us in the commentary box, become a pundit in the commentary box, become a steward, and just help the running of the channels, then please head over to Discord and you'll find where you can apply for a job here at Simplay Motorsport. I say job, it's more like a volunteering.
You're volunteering.
Yeah, you're not getting paid.
I'm
sadly.
still waiting to be paid.
I've been here since season 1, and I haven't been paid yet. So, but that's not what it's all about. It is all about producing some great racing and some great opportunities for sim racing. Because, like I said, a lot of people have moved to the PC, the PS5 world, but some of us don't actually have a PS5 or a PC to them, so a PS4 league is what we're doing at the minute. There is talks of a PS5 league and possibly a PC league in the future, but at the minute, while it stands, we will be on PlayStation 4 for the meantime. If you also want to have a look, if you do end up in the Discord, have a look at the driver streams, as a lot of these guys do stream their footages of this race. I know for a fact that Matimovic streams on his Twitch account on the Gaming Welshman 5. Fury from time to time streams on his Twitch account, and as Peaceful Explosion also streams on YouTube as well. So if you want to see their perspective and hear what the guys are going through in their races, sometimes it's actually quite amusing to watch. So please give them a follow on their platforms, even PN as well. You should listen to him and his Twitch streams as well, because they can be rather entertaining.
More than I did earlier. Slipped up earlier.
we all have our moments, don't we? But we're currently watching Ripper at the minute, and he's still 9/10 off the back of Overtaker. So Overtaker looking very strong at the minute. Meanwhile, Wolfinator is in the middle of the track, and he's slowest of them all so far. But yeah,
I've just got to reply to a comment in my personal stream. Smithy, why are you not in the mainstream for a start? And N-Dubs tickles himself with a feather. That's what he said.
I should never have told him that. But we're going into race 2. We've only got 4 minutes left to qualify, and Overtaker looks like he's secured pole position by quite a margin, to be fair. Near enough a second. Ripper, I don't think, has an answer here. It's just like he's got the pace. If we have a look as Ripper comes towards the line, still nothing. In sector 1 alone, Overtaker has 2/10. He then has another 3/10 on Ripper in the middle sector, and then the final sector he has an extend of 6/10. So yeah, actually
he's
no.
got McLaren hooked up, hasn't he? It's been interesting to see.
He has indeed.
McLaren here.
But Matt has now gone ahead of Ripper, but that's what Matt really needs. If he gets on the front row, there's still a good opportunity they can lead into turn 1. Obviously, Overtaker will choose which side he wants to start, and he'll more than likely want the inside. If you're not on the inside, then you're just a daft, really, aren't you? You want the inside around here. As Smithy says, let's go Undertaker. Soon to be my teammate for next season in AM. I'm looking forward to partnering up with you, Smithy. Doing it in the Retia.
PN in the Jag. Damn.
In the Jag.
Jag. Oh, I appear to have left it in my wallet. I have a wallet. Tyre smokes down the road.
As we got a couple of cars coming to finish their lap, and it sounds like it was a Audi just ahead of us. It was Ripper. Towards the line he comes. Any improvement? Yes, he gets within 7/10 now of Overtaker, as Fury also finds a bit of pace. He's now within a couple of hundredths off of the back of Matt. So the driver's now starting to find a little bit more pace. Peaceful Explosion is in the final sector, but he's with a whole gaggle of cars. I think one of them is possibly Wolfinator is in the final corner, so we'll see how he gets on. Is Matt just in front of him? Any improvement from Matt? 9/10 away at the minute, no improvement. Wolfinator, on the other hand, he's struggling here at the minute, as he's trying to find as much pace he possibly can. Shane is in the pits. Meanwhile, Nexus has had a big moment and gone off.
I've gone off. The Nexus earlier said, my tyres were gone after about 7 laps. Oh no, my tyres are gone. I had to use the turn right to go left tactic for every left-hander, and I enjoyed it a lot, actually. So Nexus was actually driving an Audi Quattro rally car.
I think he was driving like Lightning McQueen. That's the words of Doc in it.
Yeah, it is actually.
There we go. I think that's what he was getting at.
I've seen them movies too many times, thanks to my nephew.
Classic. Currently, the poll at the minute is going the way of Overtaker. 50% of you reckon that he is going to get the race win. As right now, Ripper comes towards the line. Any improvement on the lap time? No, he will stay in a P2. Meanwhile, Breeze crosses the line. Obviously, he went wide. He will gain no time. Fury, no improvement from him either. Who is that in the final sector? That looks like the number 14 of Overtaker. Any improvement? No. But at the minute, I really don't see anybody getting near that lap time.
Nah. It's just not lose it on the curb again, like he did in race 1. We'll have, if he finishes on the podium, and comes in for a chat, we'll have to ask him that one, won't we? What happened in race 1?
We will indeed. A reminder to the drivers, if you are in the top 3 and you end up on the podium, then please help yourself into the commentary box. If you need an invite, then let me know and I will drop you an invite. Matt, now obviously winning that last race now puts him on 38 wins. Sorry, 41 wins. And he's slowly but surely trying to catch me. He's only 9 away from reaching 50. So this next closest is Fury. If Overtaker wins tonight, he'll make it to 21. Fury will go to 36. Peaceful Explosion, where is he on this list? Ripper currently on 4. Where is Peaceful? Peaceful.
I know, but
I think he's only had 1. No, he's had 2 race wins. He's had 2.
I've never won a race in Simplay.
If Overtaker keeps his pole position, I'll put him on 19. He'll be 1 away from hitting 20 at that point as well. Matt has just gone past 101 podiums, and he's still at 25 behind myself. Fury is on 84, and Overtaker is on 45 podiums.
Off. That's his lap done.
That is Matt's lap done. He's back to the pits. Camel is coming to the final sector. Just ahead of him, sounds like the grunt of a lawnmower coming to the line. It is Peaceful Explosion. Any improvement? Yes, he goes to 6th. Camel now towards the line. He will stay 5th, and it is all down to Nexus, but he will not complete his lap time, and that is it. Overtaker makes it another pole position for himself. That is 19 here at Simplay Motorsport, and he done it in the McLaren, and I think he's already demolished the lap record for qualifying around here.
What compared with last season? Oh, so long ago last season.
It was. I'm trying to find where all the data is. I've lost it all.
I'm on the correct cameras this time.
As am I. I got the Project Cars list, I think. I don't know if that's...
No, one of the camera angles to look at Overtaker's just a barrier. That's really good.
I can't even find brands, actually. There it is. Right, so that's definitely... Yeah. So if we were racing Project Cars, the pole record is a 23.5 by Andy in the BMW. So Overtaker's already beaten that anyway. I don't actually know where the stats for ACC are.
I wouldn't know, I can't see them. I probably could if I had many devices.
I love as well. I'm scrolling through here, and Matt has got like drop scores ready, just in case. I
won't mind doing drop scores. I've had 3 shocking race weeks in a row.
So yeah, I can't find that. Regarding people holding the most records, that's including Project Cars, everything. What is my camera doing? That is
I don't know.
Sorry about that.
You're looking at Overtaker. Overtaker's now a crash barrier.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. I'm just looking at the lap records in general, and I think this is a mixture of ACC and Project Cars. Overtaker actually holds the most records. In quali he holds 9, and in race he holds 12. Then it's myself with 6 qualifying and only 8 wins. Then it's Andy with 9 qualifying and 3 wins. So a lot of these guys looking to be stopped by the other drivers as well, but I'm pretty sure that's a mixture of all sorts of ACC and Project Cars. And we are about to get underway as we start the formation lap. It is Overtaker on pole position. Has he will start from the front row. He'll have Ripper alongside with him, with Fury in third. Fourth will be Matahimovic. Fifth will be Killer Camel. Sixth will be Peaceful. Seventh will be Breeze. Nexus is eighth. Ninth is Shane and Wolfenator in 10th. All these guys have got great opportunity of scoring points. And speaking of Furby, little Fury, his mum's in the chat. Nice to see Fury's mum in the chat. And we are about to get underway for the final race of the night. And I was going to say the final race of Brands Hatch this week, but it isn't going to be.
It isn't. We've got 2 more to go.
We have got 2 more to go. And if the boys are listening, I beg and plead them to leave Brands set up so the Porsche Super Cup can practice in the server. So they only have a couple of days, even though I should really be testing for Imola tomorrow night. But hey ho. We'll see what happens with that. But PN, final race of the night. Overtaker on pole at 23.3. He looks like he could probably have this one, don't you think? Or do you think someone else is going to be able to get him?
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, it's just a shame it's that McLaren and not the 650S. But the more superior McLaren in my eyes, the 650S.
So, here's my idea, PN, right? Because if I make a return to Project Cars, to ACC...
You brought that, wouldn't you, Dan?
Yeah, I love Project Cars. It's in my heart, man. I love the game. It's great. If I make a return, obviously, by the rules, I should really start in AM and work my way up. Now, here's my vision. Now, if I do have to race in AM, I'll drive the Retia. You know, let's have a bit of fun in the Retia. If I then get promoted up into Pro-Am, I'm thinking the McLaren 650S.
Yeah.
And then obviously in Pro we'll go with a proper car if I get to Pro. But
well, the 650S is a proper car.
You know what I mean, a competitive car. As we're already in double file, so great job from these guys. Overtaker is on pole position. Ripper is in second. Who is going to take the win here? Overtaker obviously clearly wanting the inside. Who is going to win the second race tonight? Is it going to be more difficult for Matt now as he's got fast cars all around him? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And here we go. I think this is actually a better start than we've ever had. But Overtaker to the line now. We are green here for the round 10 of the championship. Overtaker leads into turn 1 as Fury and Ripper go side by side. And Fury sends it into turn 1. He gets the job done. And now Matt is under pressure. Camel's down the inside. Nexus is down the inside as they all go into turn 1. Camel's going to try and hold it strong. Meanwhile, Wolfenator is there. So Matt went from being at the front of the pack to now near enough at the back of the pack as Nexus goes wide after contact with Breeze. As Killer Camel is still fighting with Matahimovic. Meanwhile, Fury has split Ripper and Overtaker. Ripper will not be liking that because he'll miss the opportunity to try and attack Overtaker while his tyres are cold. Matt has cleared Camel once again, and Shane has managed to jump Nexus as Wolfenator works his way to the front of the pack also. But it is Overtaker from Fury, from Ripper, from Breeze, from Killer Camel, from Matt from Killer Camel, Peaceful. Wolfenator, Shane and Nexus as they all fly through the middle sector.
Into Shane's. Oh, Overtaker was wide. Fury was on the inside.
Yeah, Fury clobbered that curb quite hard and it really affected his car ever so slightly. Then he just was asking me in the break, how can I improve my car? Because he was struggling with temperatures in the front right. Sorry, the front left, I think he was on about, and his pressures were quite high. It was set to 28.1, and look at him already. He's on the back of Overtaker, sticking with him as well.
Come on, Fury. Not being biased or anything, but come on, Fury. Winning the Lexus. Have we had a Lexus win?
No, we've not. We've only had 3 winners. That's all we've had in Pro. As Matt defends the inside for Breeze as they're making a move on him, as Killer Camel drops a little bit of pace and has got Peaceful right behind him. Wolfenator's keeping Shane and Nexus ahead of him, but Overtaker might have his hands full because Fury with this refreshed Lexus looks like he's got a little bit more pace, especially in these optimum conditions.
I couldn't say it, Ben, either.
I could say it. No.
You're a right pair, aren't we, Dad?
Definitely so. It would be nice to hear Fury on the podium once again in that Lexus. He's been having on and off races with it. He seems to be struggling one round from another, but either way, he's been looking good here in this race so far, and he's sticking with Overtaker.
Camel had to look at Breeze then. I don't know if he's ahead. Oh, come on, cameras. No, cameras still
Oh,
behind.
Peaceful's one really wide there. Push a little bit too hard through the right-hander of that horrible curve, and that's allowed Wolfinator to get a great run on him, but I think he had to lift ever so slightly because Peaceful was struggling. Shane's now on the attack on Wolfinator, so it's a great little scrap for the final places at the back as Peaceful knocks out the bollards. As Smithy says, Evelyn, hope you're well. So I'm pretty much sure to Fury's mum, I believe that is too.
Smithy's probably saying that to Laura, isn't he?
Yeah, I try and interact with the guys in the chat, but end up having their own conversation, so I kind of just end up blanking them.
Or you join in. That's the best way. Just join into the conversation.
It's usually them saying, "Hey, how are you? I'm good. Yeah, good. Thanks. How are you?" And it's just like, yeah. But either way,
had a drink.
There you go. See, all good here. Thanks, Smithy. Hope you're all good too. See, I predicted that. So at the minute, speaking of Fury's mum, Fury himself is still sticking to the back of Overtaker. Normally Overtaker would start to stretch his legs now, but Fury is looking fairly comfortable in this Lexus. Now, the Lexus is relatively good in sitting in the back of dirty air, but the thing is, Fury needs to be careful about these curves, because there's been a few times where he's just been a bit bouncy, but he looks pretty planted at the minute.
Matt slowly closing back in on Ripper. He's within about a second behind him now.
Oh, Nexus! Ben going sideways, and again, Smithy carries on what I was saying. I'm okay, thank you. So I've got these guys down to a T. I have. Overtaker crosses the line. Go on.
You've been in the comms box longer than me.
Yeah, especially with Smithy and Fury's mum, I can predict what those two are going to start chatting about, and it's usually asking how each other are. So, as we go up into turn 2, Fury did lose a little bit of time, and as you can see, he's pushing too hard now. He's really starting to fight the Lexus, and I think he just needs to calm down. He needs to just get into a rhythm. As soon as he starts pushing too hard or starts sliding, the car struggles. So he just needs to get himself back. If it means braking earlier, slowing down, making sure he hits his apexes, has smoother exits. But right now he's under pressure from Ripper, as Matt is not quite onto the back of these guys at the minute, as Fury is going to be struggling to keep Ripper behind him. Meanwhile, Nexus is still on the back of Shane, looking to find a way through there, but at the minute Shane has got it covered.
Wonder if Shane's running the same pressures as Fury is now. I would have guessed so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, more than likely. Like they were both like, I say both. Fury messaged me struggling with the, like I said, the front left, saying it was getting a little bit too hot. And like I said, his hot pressures was reaching 28.1, so that's not helping at all. So he needed
the front engine car thing as well around here. Because
the Ferrari, the Lamborghini and a Ferrari and Audi all suffer from the rear, because obviously the engine's in the rear. Well, I say rear, the mid-engine, but the only rear-engine car is the Porsche.
It's a Porsche. Well,
it is technically in the rear, let's be honest. You know, it is.
It's the Evo 2 version, which is on the PS5 version of ACC and PC, where it's actually more further forward than the axle in the wheelbase, so it's more mid-engined, because it's based on the old BRSR GTE car.
Yeah.
What a car that is.
Well, Overtaken now is starting to extend his gap. He's got quite a comfortable lead over Fury now, 2.1. Now Fury, he looks like he's just toned it in a little bit, calmed down, let the car do its thing, and he seems to got it under control. Ripper's not hassling as bad no more, but Ripper is now starting to become under pressure from Matt, as this all concertinas up. Wolfinator is now catching on to the back of Peaceful, while Shane has actually started to extend the gap on Nexus. So it's all starting to fold into place, where all the drivers are in their kind of like peak performances where they are suited. Obviously the reverse grid helped other drivers, but now we're seeing them at their prime at this circuit, and Overtaker is leading away quite comfortably.
Wolfie's on the back of Peaceful right now as they head into Sterling. We
were just watching that fire. I've just gone back to Ripper just to see what's going on, but at the minute not much. It's still quite stabilised there. As you can see, Shane's also starting to catch Wolfie. He's had a moment, I think, and Shane's actually got closer to Wolfinator rather than getting closer to Peaceful.
I'd rather call him Wolfie than Greenie, because Greenie sounds a bit disgusting. So it's Wolfie.
So that round, Overtaker was in the I don't know why I was going to try and say lap times then. I was trying to look for lap times. So if I do
The
that,
only way
it'll
you
probably...
see that, you've got to go to drive them.
So what I was going to say is Fury was 2.1 behind. He's now 2.4, so he's lost 3/10 this lap, but he's managed to maintain the gap to Ripper. Ripper is not really flying onto the back. It's maintained at 7/10, and Matt has seemed to have done the same. He just seems to have hit a wall with 6/10. Now, do you think, PN, that this is the dirty air starting to take effect?
Fury's wide.
Fury's very wide, yes. He's made a mistake there, pushing a little bit too hard into the right-hander.
Yeah, the dirty air would be affecting some of the cars, especially the dirty air coming off the back of the Bentley. Luckily, though, the Bentley's behind the Lexus in the Audi right at the moment.
The one car I think will be struggling the most is probably the Audi. The Bentley tends to take the dirty air quite well, although it's not as great under pressure right now. But the Audi, at the minute, I think will be struggling the most. But Fury lost a lot of time this lap. He lost 3/10, and he's lost a further neck end a second to Overtaker. So Overtaker maintaining the lead right now. Any other moves going on? Wolfinator has now started to crash onto the back of Peaceful, but not quite close enough at this stage.
No, not close enough to launch a dive down the inside, because that's pretty much all you can do at Brands, isn't it?
Yeah, it is literally, you've got to try and catch the other driver out unexpectedly, as that's really the best way to get through it, as Fury just has a little bit of understeer going into the left-hander, but Ripper is right there.
Open. This lap, the window will open.
So, if I was Fury right now, the only thing that can stop Overtake right now is himself at this stage. Fury clearly doesn't have the pace to stick with him. All Fury needs to do is keep it on track, because it is really difficult for both of them to overtake, so he just needs to take his time. Now, whenever Ripper and Matt pit, he needs to blink with them. So if they choose to pit, the next lap he needs to be in to cover them.
Well, they're not going to quite make the window opening yet. Oh.
They are not, no, but some of the guys behind might. So the likes of Peaceful, if he peeled in now, he could probably get away with it, which I think he'll going to attempt to. Yes, he is.
Yes, he is the perfect.
I think he was trying to slow himself down so he could get in and nail it, as does Nexus. So those two, it's like a safety car as such. They nailed it by coming in as soon as the pit window opened. Now, Fury, he's got an option here. If he pits, he opens the door for Ripper to go faster on his own. But if he stays out and Ripper comes in, Ripper has a clean air again. So he's got to really decide. He's got to try and... I think, sorry, what he needs to do is back them up and try and get Matt to attack Ripper. One of them pits, and then Fury will have to react to whichever one pits. Yeah. It's a tricky situation, because if it was just one car, you'd react to him as soon as possible. But there's two right behind him, and Fury, to be fair, is doing a fantastic job of keeping the pair of them behind him.
He is. He's holding on really well. It'll be interesting now as we're heading down the back straight towards Clearways and Clark. Does Overtaker do an early pit stop?
I wouldn't. Clean out, way out in front. You got it comfortable, no problems whatsoever. So Fury stays out. Ripper and Matt both come in. So Matt trying to overtake in the pit lane. Is he trying to do a Sebastian Vettel? Now, what Fury needs to be doing, if he's listening to the stream, I hope he is, focus on this lap. Focused on this lap, hit the apexes, nail every corner, and come in straight away. There's no point prolonging it. They're in, they're pitting, and they're also pitting together, so they could hold one another up. So, Wolfinator stayed out, as did Shane. Shane's had a wiggle and has lost a little bit of time there. Peaceful pitted early. Now, the other thing that could happen here is if these guys have been too busy scrapping, and Peaceful's had time to himself, but he's struggling with the rear end, he could have jumped a lot of these guys, but I don't think that's going to happen. Right now, Overtaker could do what he likes at the minute. He's got the pace, he's got the confidence. Fury needs to react to these two, because Ripper is out, Matt is out, and Matt's lost time there.
Yeah, he has. As they both come out, Brees following them
Breeze stuck with them, mind. Breeze actually made time on these two, I think.
Yeah, and out comes Camel.
So, Overtaker's in the final corner. Is he going to opt to pit? No, he stays out. But as soon as he catches a lapped car, he would come in.
Pit.
Yes.
Fury's in.
As long as he gets it stopped.
And not a speeding penalty.
See, this is the smart thing. As soon as they come in, you got to react. You can't leave it any longer. Because as soon as you give them enough time to do their good laps, that's it. You might as well. Yeah, Shane got ahead of Wolfinator, so Wolfinator's had a moment somewhere.
Yeah. That McLaren just... It's a bit of a Kato car. It tries to kill you every so often, I think. Not now, Kato.
So, we're going to keep an eye on Ripper. He's actually made some decent time over Matt, 1.3. So, this is going to be very tight with Fury. At the minute, Ripper is into the penultimate corner. Fury is still in his box. He should go green just as Ripper gets into the final corner. So as come Ripper into the final corner. Now, I think Ripper will jump Fury here. He will. Fury's been dropped. Off he goes. Will Matt jump in? That's the question. So Ripper will go through.
Matt's passed. Fury's lost 2 places there.
That's the problem with the undercut around here. Although Fury did the right thing, there's nothing more he could have done. Literally nothing more. So he could have stayed out, but he would have worn the tyres out, and that's it. He has got 1 lap fresher tyres, but it's just how the dice has rolled. Ripper has jumped in. Matt is in front of him. All he needs to do now is stick with them, and whatever happens in front, he can benefit from.
Yeah, the only person to pit is Overtaker. And he's still got 5 minutes 40 seconds to pit. Be in the pit lane.
He has indeed, as Nexus was close to Peaceful, as Peaceful's actually dropped behind him. Peaceful's dropped down the order quite a bit because Shane has got ahead of him. And Shane's actually on the back of Nexus, so all sorts of changes going on.
Yep, as we... Will Overtaker pit now, or will he stay out for another lap?
Well, if he's comfortable where he is and he's not lapping cars and he's quite content...
There is a Honda in front of him. So
probably, as soon as he gets onto the back of the Honda, he would probably pit, more likely.
Yeah.
The thing is, even though the new rules state that the blue flags have to get out of the way and they need to move to one side, it's still putting you off, it's still causing time. So you would have to choose the option to pit. It's just the more sensible decision. As Overtaker comes into the final sector, he does one more lap, so he's going to catch Peaceful, but he'll probably catch him right at the end of the lap and then pit, more likely.
And I'll try not to lose any time. As Ripper is in plenty of clear air himself. Matt's behind him. Fury's behind Matt. Then Brees.
Fury's run a little bit wide. Has he? The thing is with Fury, has he changed his pressures for the pit stop as well? So although he's made the adjustments to the pressures for the front end of the car, has he made sure that they've changed correctly for this one?
That is the question, isn't it?
It's very easy to do, to forget to change the pit strategy for your setup for the next race, because it's just easily done to go back to the old pressures, and he'll go back to square one where he's having problems with the front left because they're just, the pressures are too high.
Or worse, default pressures. not even the setup pressures.
Well, I learned a trick that I never knew before until Peaceful actually told me about it. If you select pit strategy 2, it actually sets your pressures to what you have in your setup automatically. So I did not know that one. So if you forget to change your pressures, if you set the pit strategy to pit strategy 2, it will change it. It will change your pressures so they're correct. So Overtaker is in. He'll get his pit stop done, but I think he's got that quite comfortably in hand. Ripper's actually lost a little bit, a tiny bit of time to Matahimovic in third. Fury's just dropped off the pace ever so slightly, but the big fight at the minute is Breeze versus Killer Camel. Camel's joined the scene here, and he's looking to the inside of Breeze, and he forces the McLaren into a mistake. He goes down the inside. Through the inside he goes. Can he keep it strong on the outside as the McLaren versus Lexus head towards the right hand. Well, the Lexus by the looks of things, because he's already cleared him. Overtaker still in the pits, while Ripper is now in the final sector. And I think Overtaker should have this comfortably in hand, unless he's got damage, but very unlikely. There he goes, green gone, and away he goes.
Very comfortable lead for Overtaker after the pit stops. As Camel's now coming down the start-finish straight that isn't really straight now.
He does indeed, as I actually want to get some stats up, because if Overtaker wins this race, I think he then equals as the most successful driver around here. Yeah, he does. He has one. He'll have 2 wins to his name and 1 pole position to his name, so he'll equal with myself as being the most successful around brands. So
until probably Sunday. Camel's wide at Druids and Breeze is back down the inside, but Camel's got the inside line into Graham Hill. He's wide again.
But Breeze took a lot more curb. He tried going the undercut, and I think Breeze will have the inside for the next corner as they go into Surtees. And I think that Breeze is going to try and hold on as much as he can. They give each other space and respect, and they're still side by side. Great racing, but I think that Lexus has got more grunt than the McLaren, and it stays in front.
That was actually really good racing by them two. Oh, Breeze is slightly wide through Hawthorns.
It's alright, he's got it collected. Meanwhile, behind all this, Nexus and Shane are having a scrap. So there's fights still happening up and down the grid. Even though the grid is quiet tonight, there's still fights going on. And it looks like Shane is trying to make a move on Nexus right now.
Again, catching is one thing, passing is quite another. There's
Definitely
no DRS.
My question is how chaotic is Sunday night going to be around here? It's difficult in GT3s, and now trying to do it in Porsche Super Cups that don't handle very well. Shane has had a great final corner. He's managed to get alongside Nexus as they head towards turn 1. The more planted Lexus versus the more twitchy Audi, but Nexus later on the brakes there. Nexus, sorry, goes around the outside. I want to say Lexus, and I've seen Nexus, so that's not really helpful. Nexus is racing against a Lexus in this Audi, so yeah, that's a tongue twister. Killer Camel's now extended a gap to Breeze as the pit window has now closed, but everyone has managed to pit within the correct window. But the running order with the last 10 minutes to go, it's been a pretty dull race so far, other than the guys at the back. Overtaker is leading the way with 4.8 ahead of Ripper. We know Ripper won't come into the commentary box, so at the minute we'll only speak to Overtaker and Matt. I think we might have a quick word. We might have a quick word with Fury if he's able to come in.
I think we'll have Fury in the comms box, can't we?
If he stays in P4, if not, he'll end up being Killer Camel if he's happy to chat. But at the minute, Overtaker leads the way, with Matt currently trying to catch Ripper in second and third, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Matt's going to have to concede to third place. We've got Fury running a little bit wide in the Lexus there.
Only a little bit?
Only a little bit. I've just been sitting here, and I don't think... No, Matt hasn't got anything to brands. I thought I was about to say Matt might equal... but he didn't, so ignore me.
So if he won the race, he might have equalled you. What race wins, wouldn't he?
He would around here.
Nexus of Shade is still going hammer and tongs.
They are indeed, as Nexus just seems to be a little bit better on the brakes going into turn 1. Shane seems to be better in the middle and final sector. So where the Audi benefits from traction in the first sector, where you got Druids and then Graham Hill Bend, that's where the Audi seems to be at its strongest. But then in the middle sector and the final sector, all the fast flowy corners, the Lexus seems to have the edge over the Audi. Meanwhile, Breeze is slowly bringing that gap back down to Killer Camel again. 8 tenths now separating those two. Fury's got quite a gap over these two anyway, so he's quite comfortable in that P4. But the top 3 are long gone, especially Overtaker with 5, a neck end of 6 seconds ahead of Ripper. It's pretty much done. He's all he got to do is lick the envelope, put the stamp on, and send it into the post, because he's looking like he is on his way to possibly get himself another win here.
Do you really lick stamps now? They're normally stickers, aren't they?
I didn't say lick stamps, I said lick the envelope.
You don't really lick most of them now either.
No, you don't. You don't even do that. You just send like an email or something.
Yeah. or message
So
on
Shane
PSN.
Shane has managed to get past Nexus, so Nexus must have had a moment somewhere, and back the order he goes. Say hello to Aidan Bennett in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat, buddy. I was meant to stop the poll, but I forgot to do it. So Matt, according to 13 of you, Matt's going to win this race. Very much doubted now, but anything can happen. Overtaker has made mistakes in the past, but we shall see. Breeze has just lost some touch to Killer Camel as well, so that fight seems to have neutralized as well. As Sati Apex in the chat, Overtaker has just done a 23.6. So Overtaker, I would say, has probably got the race qualifying. And
Oh, he's
overall,
a little wide over and he touched the grass coming out of Shane's. Don't want to keep doing that.
So,
yeah.
I was just going to say, Overtaker's pretty much got this in the bag. I'm now going to start a poll for a driver of the day, and we'll come to you later on, PN, for that one as well. But it looks like it's unless he
Can we call it Overtaker Verstappen? Because how dominant he's been.
Yeah, he's yeah, like the British Grand Prix. He had a moment where Fury gave him a little bit of a hard time, but other than that,
Well, a bit like with Norris at British Grand Prix.
Exactly. So we'll get the poll out for a driver of the day. And we then head to the next round of the season. PN, we go to a brand new circuit that probably very rarely, probably barely any drivers will actually know unless they've played this game a lot.
Or racing.
Yeah.
Or racing.
Yeah, basically. That's, actually, no, I'm going to put Killer Camel for this one because I think he's had a good round tonight. But we go to Kyle Army, the next round of the season. As there's your poll: Overtaker, Ripper, Martinovic, and Killer Camel. Get your votes in on who you think your driver of the day was. As Overtaker comes into the final sector to start another lap. Kyle Army, next round of the season in South Africa, was trying so hard to work his way to get himself an FIA Grade 1 license, but the owner of the circuit decided that he didn't want to spend any money and be horrible, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But a circuit that I think will benefit one car and one car only, and I think it's definitely one to keep an eye on if he's here after his silly little wisdom tooth recovery comes out. The Porsche looks very good round Kyle Army. Very good. In the hands of Gary as well, most of the guys that have tested Kyle Army have struggled, and it has been Gary who's been the one who's looked strongest. In your opinion, PN, obviously you've done a bit of testing yourself and a few others also. Opinions on Kyle Army and what to expect, because it's definitely a track that, again, there's not many overtaking opportunities and there's some really difficult odd corners ahead. Is it just going to be who can survive, or is it just going to be who's going to be the fastest overall?
It's got to be who survive, really, because you've got the murder curve that if you touch it, your car's in the air and you're heading towards the wall just before pit lane. That's fun.
Feel like Aiden says, feel like I have an unfair advantage when selecting who's going to win after joining the stream so late. I was meant to end the poll halfway through the race, so yeah, Fury's really struggling. He's really struggling for pace right now, and Killer Camel is onto the back of him with Breeze just behind him. So,
do you know what you said about the tyres? I think that's what's happened. He hasn't changed his set.
Yeah, possibly so. He looked fairly decent in the first half, and before he pitted, he looked all right. And then as soon as he pitted, it's just gone a bit tits up for him since then. But either way, Fury is still ahead of these guys. He's just got to keep it in the middle of the track. He has to do what he did to Ripper and Matimovic. That's all he has to do. Keep it on track. But Breeze, Breeze is actually giving Camel a harder time. So if Fury just focus on going forward, don't look in his mirrors, he'll be all right. But your race leader still pulling away. He leads the race from.
Mike's made a mistake. He's now last. Oh.
Yeah, Mike's really not going to enjoy finishing this one. He's probably looking forward to Kyle Army because the Honda is meant to be quite good around there.
I don't know what the Aston is. Or am I going to scrap it?
Probably scrap it, mate.
Yeah.
So
if it's a Jack with my name on it.
With 2.5 minutes left to go, your running order, 10th place at the minute is Peaceful Explosion. Green Wolfinator in 9th. Nexus is in 8th. Shane is in 7th and in struggling to catch the guys in front. Then we got this squabble for 4th, 5th and 6th with Fury, Breeze and Camel all going for it. P3 at the minute is Matt with a Ripper in 2nd and Overtaker leading the way. Not a lot is going to change between them, but right now it's the battle of the Lexuses. Who's going to come out on top, Fury or Camel? Camel's been looking very good all night and he's now starting to put the pressure on Fury as Fury is looking to try and hang on to P4 here. But Breeze is also right on the back. Breeze will want a good end to the night because he had a shocking start with damage earlier on with contact with Wolfinator. So can he finish the night on a high? And also guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get there's 22 of you watching right now. Hit that like button, let's get to 20 likes. And make sure you tune in on Sunday night because it's going to be an interesting night for sure. Porsche Super Cup, probably the most hilarious cars in ACC on the track here at Brands Hatch. Who's going to survive? That is the question. But it is Fury, Camel and Breeze and PN with only probably 1 lap to go. Who do you think is going to win out of this squabble? Because Fury is right under pressure from Camel here.
Camel's looking good, isn't he? He's having a look.
I'm sticking with my old teammate, Fury. All he has to do is keep it on the black stop, keep it facing the right way. But right now, Breeze is now putting pressure on Camel.
Oh, this might end in tears, to be honest. As Overtaker starts the final lap of the race.
Breeze has eliminated himself, but I think Camel didn't have the best exit either. So, Breeze has gone very wide, and I think that's Breeze done for this. It is now purely which Lexus is going to be on top, Fury or Camel. That is the question. As Overtaker starts his final lap here at Brands to equal himself the most successful driver around here with myself. So, Overtaker on his way for another win, and I can't remember how many wins that is now. But either way, this is a cracking fight between Camel and Fury. Say again?
Did you say it'd be his 19th win? No, that's pole positions.
That was his pole positions, yeah. This will be his 21st. But right now, Killer Camel is still trying to put the killer blow onto Fury. He's looking to the inside. He taps Fury. He gives him a little shove. He's going to wait and allow Fury to get himself compromised. Blue versus red. And at the minute, the red is really biting at the heels of Fury. That was very respectful of Killer Camel there. He did give Fury a little nudge, but he waited there, PN.
He did, and
meanwhile,
as Overtaker's already celebrated down under the bridge.
He is indeed. Overtaker comes home and makes it 21 wins here at Simplay Motorsport. Flash the lights. Overtaker wins round 10 of the championship. We have a 4th different winner now. It's taken him this long to get a race win. Ripper is going to come home in P2 and extends his championship lead over this man. Matimovic will come home in P3. That is your podium places. But Fury has managed to just hang in there. 1 corner to go. Camel versus Fury, and it's going to go the way of a Furby. Fury is on his way home, and that is going to be P4 for Fury. Camel is going to come home in P5. Breeze will finish in P6, with Shane only 2.9 off the back of him towards the end in 7th. Nexus is going to hang in there for P8 as he comes towards the line now, and Wolfinator is in P9. With Peaceful Explosion bringing up the rear. And if Overtaker and Matt can hear me, they can come into the chat as Ben hangs it sideways into turn 1. But like he said, he was spending more time going left to go right. As Peaceful Explosion will come home in 10th place. And that is all she wrote. Overtaker is your race winner for round 10 of the championship. And as we speak, I'm pretty sure Matt is updating the tables as we speak. But that is now 21 wins for Overtaker here at Simplay Motorsport. So a fantastic drive from him tonight. As we will have another look at Overtaker crossing the line, because why not, while I wait for the tables to update.
They are done, buddy.
Cool. Thank you very much, Matt.
You're very welcome, Daniel.
much appreciated. That's not going to work for me, so I'm just going to leave the session and get, obviously, what is coming up this weekend. I don't know about you, PN. I don't know how excited you are for this one, but we have got the Porsche Super Cup debut on Sunday night. Matt and PN will be giving you the stream on that one. I've got to find the Porsche Super Cup now. I'm trying to give a lovely view of it. I'm too busy staring at my Lamborghini. Where is the Porsche? Where is it? There she is, in all its glory. You'll be seeing these cars hitting the track on Sunday night. Obviously, a one-car class. Obviously, most guys can choose what setup they run. They're more likely to want to run something safe and balanced because these things are a handful. So make sure you tune in on Sunday night, as I believe it's 8 o'clock start, I believe, on this one.
Yes, yep.
8 o'clock start for the Porsche Super Cup. 2 races, only 20 minutes, no pit stops. It is just all out who's going to come out on top. A sprint, 2 sprint races as such. Guys, get your votes in on Driver of the Day, but we will have a quick look at the tables as it stands. Obviously, penalties still to be handed out, so this is your unofficial results. It is Ripper still leading away, 49 points ahead of Matimovic, but those two are starting to creep onto the back with Overtaker in P3. He's only a couple of points behind Matt at the minute, as he's now jumped ahead of Breeze. Breeze is slowly dropping down the order, but Fury works his way up into P5. After De Silva not being here tonight, he's now down to P6 and losing out on big points, equal to Wolfinator in P7. Killer Camel with a decent round tonight. He's only 2 points behind the pair of them, with Peaceful Explosion dropping down. He's only 2 points behind them also. With Nexus currently in P10, Benno dropping down to P11 with Emplava in P12, Shane up to 13th, and Gary131 down in 14th place position. Euro in 15th with T in 16th. David is 17th, 18th is Hitman, and 19th is F1 Billow. Regarding the teams, Killer Performance killed it tonight. They scored some decent points. They're 111 points ahead of Jaeger Motorsport with quite a comfortable lead over them, with Simplay Racing dropping down to P3 and Teletubby Motorsport in P4, with JWE Sports 2 currently in P5. P6 is Button Bashers, and P7 is the JWE Sports East Racing 2. McLaren, after Overtaker winning this one, has extended the points over Bentley, 495 points ahead. Pretty much McLaren need all cars to just disappear for a week just to even think about for that to happen. Ferrari in 3rd, Porsche in 4th, Aston Martin 5th, Alexis in 6th, Honda in 7th, 8th is Audi, 9th is BMW, 10th is Mercedes, 11th is Nissan, 12th is Lamborghini, 13th is Jaguar, and bringing up the rear in 14th place is the Retia. Will the Retia make an appearance this season? Probably not. I might have to twist Matt's arm to maybe make it happen. But either way, it's at the back of the pack. So Ripper leads the way. We do have the top 2 with Overtaker and Matt in the chat with us. We will start firstly with PN. Driver of the day quickly before we chat to the guys.
Well, for me, it's got to be Camel. He's had a solid night in the Lexus. So yeah.
I tell you what, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. I'm gonna give it to Killer Camel. Honourable mention to Overtaker as well, with a very solid drive with a win in 2nd. Matt has another mention as well. He won race 1, but 3rd in this one. Ripper consistently up in the top 4, but Killer Camel has been his best round yet, and I think he deserves Driver of the Day, but it's not going to go his way. He gets the votes from the commentators because Overtaker ends up with Driver of the Day, with 55% of you reckoning that he was the best. Now, Matimovic is in the chat with us. We'll have a quick chat with Matt. This was a very, very different Bentley to the PC version, because in the PC version it was neck end of useless, but here on the PS4 it's got you a race win. Didn't quite get you on the front row, but nonetheless you've got to be happy with race 1. A bit of elbows out racing kind of style to get your way through Brands Hatch, but that's basically the style around here. How difficult was it to get through the pack around here?
So firstly, to go off what you just said, we watched a video before our endurance race down of Traction, done 2 years ago, just after the British DLC release, so it's got to be updated with PS4, where one of his 4 recommendations was the Bentley. It is different on this game, by far, compared to PC. But yeah, it was elbows out racing, British track, touring car fan, channeled my inner Jason Plato and Matt Neal and did the job. Very surprised by both podiums, to be fair. Does that help because people wasn't here? Possibly so. But You know as well as anyone, you have to capitalise when them drivers aren't here. I miss races, they capitalise then. So you've got to capitalise, but to get a win, absolutely stoked. Me and Overtaker must have done a half an hour practice race the other night because it felt exactly the same when he just rapidly gained on the back of me. But the Bentley's so wide and this track is so tight that you could easily defend. And then race 2, you know, he did stellar lap time, low 23 in qualifying from Overtaker, absolutely mega job. Felt like I could have possibly kept with Ripper. Managed to be really close to Ripper going into the pit lane, but no brake lights come on, so I didn't clip the back of him, which was genuinely nice to see. And then they just went afterwards. I had nothing to catch them. Well done to both of them too. Great racing. I just think tonight's been fantastic. You know, the whole night. I think to say it's been less drivers, which probably makes the racing cleaner. I think there's been some good overtakes and some good racing from everybody.
It's been okay. It's not been as exciting racing as we probably would have expected. Towards the end of races is where it's got exciting. But either way, you take obviously talking about race 1 and race 2, it showed that Overtaker did have the pace in that McLaren. It did look well suited round here, and probably going into this round, you probably would have known that anyway. Obviously, like I said, with experience on PC, me running the McLaren, yourself running the Bentley, and it was roughly the same pace. It seemed like I had probably half a second to 3/4 of a second over the Bentley, and it seemed like the same again here with Overtaker. So you kind of knew that was going to happen.
Well, just to answer that one, sorry, them videos we watched, McLaren was the favoured car, then it was the Ferrari, then it was the Aston Martin, Bentley was his fourth choice, Honda was the car to avoid, so I'll take that. Plus, we know Overtaker is a champion at Simplay Motorsport. He was rapid on Project Cars 2, he was rapid on Assetto Corsa. The guy is just quick. He's just quick. I don't know how. I tip my hat to him on a pad. Don't know how he does it. He's just quick.
He is indeed. So a quick chat. Obviously, next round of the season is a brand new track for everybody. If I'm doubly sure, I'm pretty sure it's Kyalami, isn't it? It is Kyalami. We go to Kyalami for the next round of the championship. I know for a fact that you struggled in the Bentley around there, especially against your own teammate who looks very, very strong in the Porsche around Kyalami, but he needs to sort out his wisdom teeth and get on track. But what are you expecting?
I think you're giving him too much credit there. I don't think Gary's going to do as good as you think. I think he's going to possibly let himself down. But I'm expecting to do nothing. You know it's bad, Dan, and this is no offence to the guy, but you know it's bad when you're slower than Mike.
I mean, when we did that practice session, he did look like he was enjoying the track and the car. So, Gary, if you don't get a win in the Porsche at Kyalami this season, I will be very unhappy with you, and I will not be supporting you any longer.
Hey, it could be his 25th pole position. What you're on about? No, I'm not expected to do anything next week. I always said on Project Cars 2, when F1 always had rumours of getting Kyalami, I made myself South African on Project Cars in support on Simplay Motorsport of getting it on the Grand Prix. Well, the Grand Prix still haven't picked it, so we have. It's great to see a new track. The thing I'm loving about next week is you're going to know who's tested and who hasn't, because if you've never driven this track before, it's really going to catch you out, penultimate corner especially, and it is one that you've got to be precise, nail everything at this circuit. You can't make one mistake. I don't expect to do very well, especially if there's a full grid. I'll take what I get. You know, what will be, but congrats to Overtaker, Ripper tonight, and I believe Campbell for his podium in race 1.
Yeah, oh, well done. And a quick briefly word on the Porsche Super Cup, because I know for a fact that you're looking forward to commentating that one.
Absolutely buzzing. We love the British circuits. We watch the Porsche Carrera Cup with the touring cars at these British circuits. We now get the chance to broadcast this 8 p.m. UK time Sunday night. Myself and PM Motorsport will be live on the comms. Dan will be back in the seat. Can he win his 7th championship here at Simplay Motorsport? Hopefully not. You know, I don't want to lose too many to him. But it's going to be a fantastic series. If you enjoy the touring cars and enjoy watching the Porsche Carreras go around the track, join us here. 2 20-minute races, 2 10-minute qualifyings, no reverse grid, flat out racing, no traction control on bumpy circuits. It's going to be immense. You do not want to miss it. 8 p.m. UK time, Sunday evening.
This could be Larry indeed. As we go from the Porsche Super Cup to a car that's been planted all night long, has been a under no threat in race 2. Overtaker, the McLaren does what it always does at Brands Hatch. It seems to do very well in race 2. Congratulations on your 21st win. How does it feel to be back on the top step after being such a long time, still not won a race this season until the halfway stage?
Yeah, thanks, mate. The season just hasn't gone my way this far, so I'm super happy with my first win. And I knew I had the pace around here. It was always sketchy, race 1 with a reverse grid, but I managed to clear the traffic. Actually, Matt was clearing traffic for me. He was barging and pushing people in the okay way, but still I managed to follow him almost every car. And then after the pit stops, I saw him covering me in the pit stop, so I knew I was going to be behind him whatever I do. So I'm just trying to put as much pressure as could on him, but this track is just so narrow. It's very hard to overtake if someone is consistent and doesn't make any mistakes. So at the end I made a mistake and I only managed to hold on to the podium because I have massive damage and my car was slow. So I'm super happy with P1 and P2.
Yeah, definitely. So it was, like I said, a very uncharacteristic mistake from yourself. But either way, a solid night's points. It brings you closer back into the championship. We know you said that you might not be able to make every race, but nonetheless, it's got to feel good to get another win and another pole position to your name. Obviously, going into the next race, we head to Kyalami. Is the next round. A very bumpy track again. A lot of odd and unorthodox corners around
there.
If
I can stop you right there, I'm not racing Kyalami because I'm on holiday, so I'm skipping Kyalami.
Well, there we go then. He avoids the horror of that. So when do we expect you back? Will you be back the week after?
I'm not sure yet because I have a few things planned for the weekend and I don't know when I'm going to be home, but hopefully the week afterwards, so in like 14 days. I'm going to catch that one for sure.
So we'll either see you at Zandvoort or Silverstone. So,
I'm hoping to make Silverstone because I like this track. If I miss Zandvoort, I don't mind.
I don't think no one minds missing Zandvoort.
Well, we'll obviously a brief word on obviously the championship itself. Like obviously we know you, like I say, you're not really in the championship, but again, a brief word for yourself about the level of drivers tonight. I think you're having to get to a point now. You have to be on the limit of each race because all these guys will try and get you when they can, especially like the Ripper, Camel, Matt, Fury. When he's in the zone, he's up there with you. De Silva. All these guys are all stepping up, and you're having to reach that level that you probably never reached before, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean it was on every track. Apart from here because I didn't need to push race 2 because I had the pace. I was driving my own race and putting in the lap times. But yeah, like you said, the Silva stepped up with his pace. I mean, we know he won the championship last season, but this season he found even more pace. Ripper is new, nice addition. He's fast and consistent. We all know Matt. He put the car in front of you and then just defends like crazy, so it's impossible to overtake him for half the races, and of course the other guys as well. We only miss you, so to be complete.
We don't overtake. That's being too kind to Dan.
I mean, I was always enjoying racing him because he knew where to put the car, and because I don't quite so many times, but he does. So it was like racing him.
Kind words. But either way, mate, congratulations on your 21st win here at Simplay Motorsport, and we won't see you next week, but we'll hopefully see you maybe at Zandvoort. If not, we'll definitely see you at Silverstone. But nonetheless, congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm just disappointed in you for not giving me your vote for the driver of the day. But well, what else I have to do?
Well, you had to beat my record round here. You've only matched me now with a pole position and 2 race wins. If you'd managed to get 2 race wins, then I might have given you driver of the day. But I thought Killer Camel tonight, the man who hasn't had the best luck this season, like yourself as well, but you've had a lot stronger race. I'll tell you what, whatever. You can have driver of the day.
Yeah.
Matt gets driver of the day from me at Zolder, and you get driver of the day from me at Brands. How about that? Everybody's happy. Get a Camel.
I'll take that.
you're still in my heart. But anyway, thank you guys all for listening tonight. PN, we'll have a quick roundup of racing. It's been fantastic racing here at Brands, tight, twisty circuit. We're not quite done with Brands, like I said, Super Cup on Sunday night. But nonetheless, Kyalami is next, and what an interesting track we got ahead of us. Will AMS be still cleaner than Pro Am and Pro? Because Pro put on a decent show tonight.
Pro was pretty clean tonight, really.
It was.
Wasn't it?
I haven't heard my
My phone ain't
PC
gone off
pinging.
yet either.
Yeah.
For Stu, for tickets going in, so yeah, but not bad. And join us on Sunday for the Carrera Cup. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, there we go. Matt's probably just done it in just for fun, basically.
Yeah.
But either way, that's been Brands Hatch. I've been Dan Davis. PN has been joining me in the coach box. Fantastic. Matt and Overtaker. It feels like we're back at Project Cars where we're again with those two winning a race. But make sure you tune in Sunday night as Matt and PN will give you all the action for the Porsche Super Cup here at Brands. And we will then see you in a week's time as we head to South Africa in Kyalami for the next round of the championship. What is that going to offer us? It's going to be a mental night's worth of racing for Pro-Am and Pro. No Overtaker for Pro. So will someone else take a race win? We've now got 4 different winners in Pro. Can we make it 5? Possibly could. Gary 131, sort that Porsche out. But we'll see you on Sunday night for the Porsche Super Cup. But from myself and PN and everybody here at Simplay Motorsport, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified. Have a look in the link below of all of our sponsors from Design Manchester and Audio Sport. Have a look at their stuff as well. Head over to the Discord and get involved. And if you want to be a part of the action here at Simplay Motorsport for events in the future, for fun events and actual racing on the grid, head over to the Sim Grid so you can sign up. But from us here tonight, it's been an honour racing at Brands, and it's good night.
Good night.
Should be clear.